Well, it's one of the best days of the year, not only weather-wise here at Citizens Bank Park, but it's also the Fanatic's birthday. So there's going to be a lot of laughs, a lot of smiles, and some great giveaways. It's a carryover from last night, Turkey Hill Kids opening night. And today, it's Citizens Bank that's sponsoring the Fanatic's birthday with that awesome giveaway. And for us, it's Weekends with Schmidt, presented by Acme Markets. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Mike Schmidt and Matt Stairs. We get set to watch the Fanatic celebrate his birthday. The Superstars are in town. We're going to have a lot of laughs as the day moves on. One thing that's not funny, though, is what Bryce Harper's been able to do against the Phillies, particularly this year so far in 2 games, but even going back to last year.
Well, he's a guy that just has unbelievable numbers, and his MVP year last year was remarkable. 153 games, hitting .330, and Mike Schmidt made a great point. The reason why you hit high is because you walk. 124 walks, 460 on-base percentage. Seriously? I mean, that's the way it should be. And what we've seen so far on Friday night here against Oberholzer, a bomb to right field off a curveball from a left-hander. Another reason why he hits so well, and he was MVP last year, he handles lefties and righties. Yesterday, Aaron Nola fastball inside, misses a spot, absolutely crushes it to right field. Every time Bryce Harper steps in this ballpark the last 5 games, he makes his ballpark look small, and there's always a ballpark you feel very comfortable with. This is a ballpark where he feels comfortable with. 12 for 20, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 walks today might help.
Well, let's see if they can slow him down. He's always a story, though, no matter where you go. And we think back to even when you played, Mike, if anybody had those kind of abilities at that young an age.
Well, you know, when I played in the years before I played, going way back, it was hard to get to the big leagues, you know, at age 19. In fact, I remember Chris Spire when he arrived at the big leagues right out of high school. But I burnt the midnight oil on this one. That was my assignment. And my good friend Johnny Bench is the one that popped up. Johnny Bench was a 3-time All-Star. He had 326 RBIs. He had an MVP, and he was a matinee idol in this country, all before the age of 23. And you know what? When you're talking about setting the bar, start looking at some of the guys from the next generation: Cabrera, Pujols, A-Rod, Griffey Jr. Those guys went from age 23 on to average something like 30 home runs and 110 RBIs for like 12 to 14 years. So the bar set pretty high for somebody like Harper. But, you know, when we watch him, we think it's possible.
It isn't possible to see what he's going to be able to do during the course of his career, because already he's given us a little foreshadowing. Bright, sunshiny afternoon, you got to get the perfect visor. We have that perfect visor as part of the giveaway. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Toyota's hybrid fleet is nothing short of a home run. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Celebrating the Fanatic's birthday here at Citizens Bank Park, and the fans have not only enjoyed the bright sunshiny afternoon so far, temperatures will be in the 70s, but also the pregame festivities. In fact, Finley came up all the way from Clearwater. The Superstars are around. They'll be performing all day long. That is Ken Giraffe Jr. Of course it is. And that's the giveaway that was handed out to the fans coming into the ballpark here this afternoon, and the Fanatic loving the cake that was presented to him as they sung happy birthday to the Philly Fanatic about a half hour or so ago. The Fanatic first appeared in April of 1978, and that could be deemed a villain for the Philly Fanatic. Who is that? Can you have any guesses? You have any guesses, Mike?
Ben Revere.
Ben Revere is correct.
How did I know that? I just guessed it.
How is he that cold? I mean, this is just like 45 minutes ago that he's doing that. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Nationals, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Chris Heisey leads it off in center, then Anthony Rendon and Bryce Harper. Murphy, Worth, and Robinson are the next three. In the bottom third of Stephen Drew, Jose Lobaton, and Gio Gonzalez. They'll face Phillies right-hander Charlie Morton, who has all finished his warm-up tosses, ready to go. Third start of the year for Morton, an ERA of 5.23. Really good in his last outing. That was earlier on this homestands. Chris Heisey will lead things off. Heisey 1 for 2 so far in the series. A pitch hit home run last night. And he whacks the first pitch foul. It's 0-1.
Take a look at the scouting report. Charlie Morton, a 4-pitch pitcher's fastball this year has been averaging 94.1. Legs hitting 227, and his curveball at 80.8, and the legs hitting at 091.
He's ahead, no balls, and 1 strike to Heisey. And Heisey tried to hold up his swing, and he went around, says the first base umpire, Mark Rippinger.
I like what I'm seeing already. 2 inside fastballs. And I'm surprised at that 94.1 average. Is that right?
Yeah, he'll top out at 96. He'll hit 97 once in a blue moon.
Try to check his swing again. They appeal again, and he went around, says Mark Rippinger. So 3 pitches, all 3 strikes, 1 away. Time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Michael, get us started.
Well, mine is simple. Let's give the Fanatic a really nice birthday present and a victory. And hopefully to do that, Charlie Morton will have a good early going in the game, and we can play without coming from behind.
And mine is Freddie Galvis needs to set the tone as a leadoff hitter today. Leadoff hitters are hitting .292 OPS, which is worse than baseball. An area where we need to improve is our leadoff guy.
Well, Freddie had a couple hits in yesterday's ball game, and he is batting leadoff here today. Anthony Rendon's the batter. He has 2 hits so far in the series. Fastball outside. Well, getting off to a good start is important against this Nationals team, which has won 7 straight, and on the year they already have 16 first inning runs, including 8 in this series. Pretty good changeup right there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pete tinkered with his lineup today. Dusty Baker did the same. Day game after a night game. Over the Phillies dugout, and it's 1-2.
Well, it's so important early in the game to put up a goose egg, especially with the pitching staff that Washington Nationals have. They have a tremendous starting rotation, a very good closer, and great mid-relief pitchers.
Well, at the beginning of the series, we talked about the Phillies starters leading the league in a number of categories. Well, no longer. It's now the National starters that lead in most of the categories. Galvis to his left on that ground ball. Now there are 2 outs.
Well, 1 more hurdle to get over here in the first inning.
Well, and it is a big one, as we talked about in the open. It's Bryce Harper. I think he's grown to like the boos. Honestly, he's not going to hear anything but boos away from DC as long as he plays for the Nationals for his entire career.
You have to love getting booed. Because one, it means you're a great player, and people recognize that you're a tremendous player. They're trying to get in your head.
And he lines a base hit to right center field. He's hustling hard. He's going to go for 2. The throw by Herrera to second base is not in time. Well, that was a good slide. It was an excellent throw by Herrera.
It was. I didn't think the play was going to be close, and it ended up being real close. In fact, I think Freddie is he's stalling around a little bit.
Harper was picked off in yesterday's ball game. That was reviewed. And the Phillies are going to look for a review on this one. Let's take a peek at it. He looks like he's out.
Right there, it came off the bag. He came off the bag. Now,
his foot came off the bag, and then the bag.
Yeah, his foot did come off the bag, but
and it wasn't pushed off.
Right, it has to be pushed off for it to be disregarded, right?
Correct.
You know, so often sliding.
Oh yeah, he's
right
off
there.
right
You can
there.
see there's an open spot there, open spot right here.
Boy, great camera shot.
There's the tag.
Greg Farnese is our left field camera operator, and he's got that one right there, and we're able to freeze it.
Isn't it amazing how with the videotape replay now, how we're seeing so often that sliding, a change in the call, is related to what happens around the bag that we never used to be able to see. You know, I mean, if the runner beat the ball and the ball beat the runner, you know, generally that's the way they made the call.
Well, and that's why the adjustment has been made that you can't push the runner off anymore, or they're looking for it more because of video.
They wouldn't have caught that in the old days. I mean, he called him safe,
and you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
This is the second time Harper's been involved in a big video. Just run in the dugout. You know you were out.
Well, he's got his helmet off. He's about to give it to the bat boy. I think, right there.
Yeah, the bat boy's out there already.
Yeah, the bat boy's just waiting with him. He probably said, just hang on, because he's already seen the replay that we're showing you on TV up on the big screen. Joe West is about to take the headphones off. He and the second base umpire, or third base umpire, Kerwin Danley. He is the second base umpire. He made the call. And now it looks like he was called back.
What I see is that Bryce Harper slid just a little late, causing that front foot to pop up.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I went over second base.
But you know, that's bad sliding. Very bad. I mean, you could just do a pop-up slide right into the front of the bag, right? Well, I mean, there's no reason your foot should go over the top of the bag.
Well, with my speed, I could never pop up because I just slid and laid down.
Well, they are taking a long time to look at this. And
we didn't have any problem with it.
No, Eddie is out. Okay, there you go. So the first outfield assist for Odubel Herrera of the year. It'll be a single, 8-6 on the putout. Side is retired, and the Nationals do not score here in the first. The Nationals scored 8 runs in the first inning of the last 2 games. Nothing here. That's a good sign. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Galvis, Hernandez, and Herrera, followed by Franco, Ruff, and Ruiz. In the bottom third of Peter Borges, Tyler Goodell gets the start against the lefty, and then Charlie Morton. They will face the lefty Gio Gonzalez. Gio, who did pitch for the Phillies at one point in Double-A. He's had himself a good major league career so far. 91 wins, 66 losses, and he's only pitched in 1 game thus far for the Nationals, Matt.
No, and that was a very good game. The first game, he's changed his delivery. And we'll get into that later in the game. You see the scouting report. He's a 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, change, curve. Pretty good ERA versus the Phillies in his career. First game, no hits off his changeup, and no hits off his curveball. So he has good control of all 3 pitches right now.
Well, here's Freddie Galvis, who has 4 hits against him lifetime. Takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Looks like Freddie went back to the deep left foot in the stance. I mean, in spring training, he had moved that about a foot closer to home plate. Now he's over by the white line again.
2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Pete told us yesterday that he's working on things with Freddie, like not Pete is, but Freddie is in general.
Here's a good leadoff hitter right here. Will just take this pitch.
That's it.
You got to do it. You got to do it. Give the umpire a chance to call it ball 4. Of course, you have to have confidence when you have, hitting with 2 strikes to go along with that.
Over toward the hole, and it's backhanded by Stephen Drew, who throws him out. 1 away. Cesar Hernandez is coming up. All right, this is the play that ended the top of the 1st inning. Eventually ended the top of the 1st.
Yeah, he does a great job of thinking 2 out of the batter's box. Everything is very good right now. This is the path right here you want to take as a runner, not going too far. Look how far he goes out of the base path.
Oh,
Look
wow.
how much, he's going so much further outside. Now all of a sudden he's got to kick it back into gear to get there. That's the reason one, it was a great throw by Herrera, but 2, the angle was terrible.
How about this bunt? There's no chance to get Cesar Hernandez, and the Phillies have a base runner with 1 out here in the 1st.
We call that a blueprint. Golly, that was a great bunt. Deadened it. No play.
Well, that ends an 0 for 11 stretch for Cesar, so he's got the feel of being back on the base paths now.
Well, that's the value of having that in your repertoire. The bunt for a base hit. It's available so much. The guys don't use it enough. Great touch right there.
And the reason why he deadened the ball because it was at the end of the bat. That's where you want to do with the bunt.
Put it in your pocket.
Phillies have not been that aggressive on the base paths this year. Just 3 stolen bases. Cesar has 1. Odubel has 1 in the starting lineup. Here is Odubel Herrera, who is 2 for 5 with 3 walks in this series.
I mean, that's just perfect. You can see it right there. The reason why is he's deading that ball at the very end of the bat. Doesn't come off hard. It's not hitting that barrel and popping off the barrel going hard.
Step out.
Outside, 1-0. He did wait a long time.
Gio's got to present a problem for left-handed hitters with his delivery. It's almost like a right-handed hitter against Nola. They got that 3/4 delivery, sort of semi-sidearm delivery, and that big sweeping curveball. Little John Candelaria from my era.
It's kind of taken on the physical appearance of John Candelaria too, with the long hair. 1 ball and 1 strike to Odubel.
I tell you what, that's a great weapon. That hold the ball. Gonzalez is holding that ball a long time to kind of freeze Hernandez at first base. You probably see a little bit of a slide step, quicker pitch here coming up.
Now, if you were Hernandez,
I got to ask you. I got to ask you guys. I mean, I'd have called timeout at least one of these pitches already myself. I don't know about you, Matt, but.
And if you do, won't that speed Gonzalez up eventually?
Well, as soon as it, you get a beat. You get a beat. He's not throwing. He's not throwing. You say timeout, but you still keep your stance. In other words, the umpire has to give you timeout before you can, before you can back out of the box.
The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Jim McLaughlin of Wilmington. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Jim will win $100.
See, that would drive me nuts standing there like a statue. I mean,
but umpires now do not have to give you time.
I understood. Understood. You have to hold your ground, but until you given timeout. See, that's way too long. Way too long right there. I'll tell you what, you can get in. He's getting in your head as a hitter now. You can get in his head by backing out or calling timeout. You can put it in the umpire's mind that this ain't going to work.
Quick toss over to first base. This is way more deliberate, though, than I remember Gio Gonzalez. I don't know what you guys think, but.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have him pitch on a getaway day.
I mean, he made 4 starts last year. He's 8-5 lifetime with almost 100 innings against the Phillies. I don't remember him taking this long in between pitches with a runner on base.
There's that quick pitch. Was a quick pitch. Yep. Slide step.
And he's able to get Herrera to pop out in foul territory. 2 outs here in the first.
Well, now here's, excuse me, but here's where a batting coach can come in handy in the dugout. Batting coach can spot this. Steve Henderson will spot that and maybe go over to Herrera and say, okay, now here's what I want you to think about doing next time up there if you get in the same situation.
Yeah, that's kind of a frustrating at bat if you're Odubel Herrera. Now Maikel Franco. Franco is 0 for 5 lifetime against Gio Gonzalez. Numbers overall this year 293 with 2 homers and 5 runs batted in. Off the outside corner with an off-speed pitch. It's 1-0.
I need to see Michael get in the middle of the field.
It's the same guy as yesterday.
Is it the same guy?
I don't know.
But they're enjoying a great view over at Xfinity Live in Philly across the street. Fastball in there, 1-1. Right across the street. Sit outside and watch the big screen if you want, Mike. Look at that.
Wow. It's a good day for it. Can you change the channel?
That's a great question. The X1 does change the experience of television. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Maikel Franco.
There's the long delay right there. See, you got to get timed out. Whether we'd be running or not, I don't know. With our 3-4 hitters coming up with the left-handed pitcher on the mound, but the hold by the pitcher is definitely shutting him down.
If you do go, I guess you're going on first move at this point.
A lot of times they'll run a hitter out of a 2-strike count, a 1-2 count. Just go, because we want him to start over the next inning. But I'm not a fan of that. If you're 3, 4, 5 hitters, those guys can hit home runs with 2 strikes.
High fastball, and Maikel Franco is struck out. Side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. It was a bunt single. We'll head to the second. It's scoreless between the Phils and the Nationals. Well, tomorrow the Phillies will begin a 3-game series against the New York Mets. It's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. They'll play Tuesday and Wednesday. All 3 games are at 7:05. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. There's a lot going on over at Xfinity Live. You get free parking.
Free parking in the background.
There's Daniel Murphy, and he takes a pitch a bit low. It's 1-0. Murphy is 14 for 32 this year. 2-0. 2 for 7 in the series with a double and a triple. Overall, the Nationals have 12 extra base hits in the 2 games. They've scored 17 runs and have 24 hits in the first 2 games of this series.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Great pitch right there. 91-mile-an-hour cutter. Very good.
I don't know if I've ever seen a postseason performance better than what I saw out of this kid last year.
Yeah, Murph was talking about last night. I think everybody was surprised it didn't carry over to the World Series because he was so hot. I thought when he did that in the postseason, I thought there was no doubt the Mets would just re-sign him.
Oh, how do you let him go?
Swing and a miss. A lot of movement on that pitch right there.
Well, and it's a cutter that I absolutely love, especially from Charlie Morton. Everyone thinks he's going to throw that turbo sinker. Now all of a sudden you have to protect that cutter inside. Opens up that outside corner for a great sinker.
Yeah, so you're peeking outside and he just throws that. That's what gets them off the plate inside. Somehow he fouled that one off.
There's a couple ways to go on that pitch too. If you think you're going to make a decision at the last second, I think the best way to go is just keep pulling it foul. Yep. Pull it foul, pull it foul.
But if you watch his last swing, he's cheating. He's stepping in the bucket because he knows he have to cheat to hit that cutter. Now all of a sudden you work out that outside corner or a backdoor curveball.
There you go, backdoor curve.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's a hitter that's not going to give up an at bat. See him just playing pepper with that pitcher. Charlie Morton's got him struggling a little bit right now, right?
But you know, Charlie Morton hasn't thrown that good 96-mile-an-hour sinker yet.
Understood, but he's having a rough time up there right now. But he's playing pepper with him. You know, he's just choking and poking.
Out toward left field, it's not deep. Charging it is Goodell, and he makes the sliding grab.
And there was the 95-mile-an-hour sinker with the movement. Great sequence and a great player right here. Good concentration.
But you know, that's a good at bat. I mean, I know he didn't get a hit and he didn't hit the ball hard. Well, a lot of guys would have struck out earlier in that at bat.
Plus, he saw every pitch.
Yep.
Well, so Goodell retires him. Jason Worth is coming up. Worth so far 5 for 31 on the season. 2 of the 5 hits have come in this series. He's 2 for 8. Had 2 doubles in his first 2 at bats. Takes a breaking ball. It's 0-1. He had a problem with that last night with Aaron Nola.
I was talking to J-Dub before the game, and he couldn't understand how Aaron Nola throws his curveball from where he does. He hides it so well.
Darren Ruff will give this a look, but it's not high enough for him to get under it.
First question, I said, hey, J-Dub, I said, how were you picking up the curveball last night from Aaron Nola? He goes, I still haven't seen them.
I thought Aaron's assessment of his outing last night was right on, too. He allowed 7 runs in 5 innings. He said, listen, I had no fastball. He said, I had a good curveball. He goes, but I can't keep throwing just curveballs. He goes, I needed to mix in some fastballs, and I just didn't have it.
Well, he's not in a good spot right now.
Out to right center field, and Peter Borges will make the catch.
Now that was not a good pitch. Got an out of it, but it was not a good pitch based upon his last 4 or 5 at bats.
Yeah.
As bad as he's struggling on that hard breaking ball.
Well, speaking of struggling, Murph, it's been a struggling couple of days for the Phillies in this series.
Yeah, Tom, you said it best at the end of the first. Just getting out of that first inning unscathed was positive news for the Phillies, and Charlie Morton doing a nice job, 1 2/3. Take a look at the way they were playing in the first 10 games before they ran into this Nationals buzzsaw. They were 5-5 with a team batting average of .216, but the starters ERA 3.42. That's an important number. The last 2 games against the Nationals, that starters ERA jumps up to 13.50, and the offense scoring just 1 run on average per game in those 2. You're not going to win a lot of ball games with those kinds of numbers. Phillies hoping to change their fortunes this afternoon.
Well, it'd be nice to get this one. As you know, we were talking about salvaging the series. Then you got the Mets coming in, and just keep this homestand above 500 as you go forward. 0-2 to Robinson, and he tried to backdoor a breaking pitch, and it's 1-2. Clint Robinson 1 for 9 so far this season, getting a chance to play a little first base today for Ryan Zimmerman. 2-2.
That pitch is down about 3 inches. It's the strikeout looking. Freezes him with that front door sinker.
Yeah, roll it off the hip. That one looked like it just slipped out of his hand. Stephen Drew, the veteran, is on deck. Got him.
Whoa.
That ball had
Almost hit him.
Wicked movement. Well, it's a nice pitch to have in his arsenal. 2 strikeouts today for Charlie Morton. He sets them down in order here in the second in a scoreless game.
Breakfast on Broad will get you set for Flyers and Caps Game 3.
New Eagle Brandon Brooks will join us to talk about his impressions of Philly so far.
Temple head coach Matt Rule will also be here.
See you on Monday at 6 on the Comcast Network.
Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. I think they'll probably talk about last night's Flyers game. That was kind of unfortunate. They're down 2-0 now because they head back home. Talk about the series against the Mets coming up on Monday night. As Darren Ruff takes outside, it's 1-0. Might be some shots of the Fanatic's birthday party on there as well.
As there should be.
Darren Ruff has great numbers against Gio Gonzalez for his career. And it does seem to fit his swing and the way he is. 8 for 23 with 3 home runs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ruff. Bit inside, 2-1. Got him leaning a little bit forward.
You could change up and away. Ball, but he timed it up. I mean, you know, a great pitch to hit, but it has to be hit, you know, right center.
Fly ball left field. Worth was deep. Now he comes running in. It's shallow, and he's at the spot to make the catch. One away. Carlos Ruiz is due up.
This is where we had the old discussion about the high sky.
High sky.
Well, I was talking about Gio's delivery, and last year you can see right here, it's a pretty simple delivery, double toe tap. See how early he's picking up the target? Last year he would stay in tighter, his head would be down a little longer, and Mike Maddox, the new pitching coach for the Nats, said you need to pick up your target earlier. Like last year he might hit the corner and then all of a sudden hit the backstop. Now he's picking it up nice and early.
I think that's such a key point for any pitcher.
Absolutely.
I mean, young or old, particularly at the younger levels, as they get, you know, move forward, is just to pick up that target. Outside 2-0.
I'll tell you what I like about it. It looks like a windup that's sort of like saves wear and tear on the shoulder. I mean, it's like look at it. He curls, he coils, and everything's driving toward the hitter. Nice and comfortably, very, if you want to say, athletic windup.
This is the final year of his contract with the Nationals, but he does have a couple years vesting options. Ooh, Carlos lines one deep to left field. Worth going back. It is gone! Home run for Carlos Ruiz, his second of the year. And the Phillies take a 1-0 lead.
Well, there's that lead we were hoping for. Playing from the lead now.
First time in this series. And it makes a winner out of Jim McLaughlin of Wilmington, Delaware, who's won $100 thanks to Carlos and the McDonald's home run jackpot.
And that is how you hit a 3-0 fastball. Get a pitch to hit and have a good swing on it. Good one, Chooch.
Now that's an inviting green light right there, 3-0. Peter Borges is now up. Shows bunt. Bunts it foul. And it's 0-1. Home run for Rupp last night. 2 home runs now for Ruiz. So 3 homers out of the catching position. Borges was out yesterday for about 45 minutes with Steve Henderson, trying to work on his swing. They're trying to get him, you guys know this better than I do, is to get out front a little bit more, hit the ball out front a little bit more. Trying to get him to go to right field a little bit more too.
Well, until he learns to get his hands going back, he won't be able to go to right field.
Well, he is struck out. That's the second strikeout for Gio Gonzalez. 2 outs, and Goodell's coming up. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Braves are shutting out the Marlins 4-0. Jace Peterson, a 3-run double. Nick Markakis also a double and a run scored. Atlanta's won 2 straight after losing their first 9 to start the season. Tyler Goodell's the batter. Goodell 1 for 10 so far. Home run by Carlos Ruiz in this inning has given the Phillies a 1-0 lead.
I would love to see this young kid, Tyler Goodell, get 4 at-bats today. 5 at bats would be even better. It means you're scoring some more runs.
He lofts it to center field, and Chris Heisey is waiting. And the side is retired. Phillies do strike first, though, on a solo home run by Carlos Ruiz. The Fanatic's birthday. Maybe a butterscotch crimpet. What could be better? The Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, the question is, who were the 2 Phillies that hit grand slams against the Nationals on April 27, 2009? Two Phillies that hit grand slams on April 27, 2009. Top of the third. Stephen Drew, Jose Lobaton, Gio Gonzalez against Charlie Morton. Stephen Drew takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Stephen Drew lands on his feet a lot, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Played for some great teams.
He was the everyday shortstop for the Diamondbacks for a long time. The last couple of years, he's been, sort of a swing guy, second base, shortstop for a couple of teams, including the Yankees. He's able to reach double digits in home runs. He's not necessarily hit for average on a consistent basis. Takes inside, 2-1. If he's content with his role in Washington, it's not a bad extra infielder to have.
No, it's not.
Off speed pitch, 2-2. Did you think he struck out?
No.
Oh.
I don't know, but he thought something.
He didn't like what he thought. See his career numbers. Well, he's getting it close to coming back all the way. That 2-seamer.
Just setting him up for the cutter. See?
Phillies had him played perfectly. The Robinson Cano of the Phillies, Michael Franco, makes the play. 5-3 on the putout. And 1 out for Lobaton. Today's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box.
That's the future of the game right there. The shift, the defensive shift.
How you guys doing?
Talking to who was it down at the batting cage today about how in their careers they're going to have to deal with that, how much harder it is to get hits. You show them you hit the ball into a certain pattern, they're going to defense you accordingly now. Just ask Ryan Howard.
Yeah, Ryan Howard's had to deal with his shifts.
I would say already this year he's probably lost, what, 6-7 hits?
That's a pretty good amount. In fact, in the Padres series, there were a couple of balls that Spangenberg at second base was in shallow right field, and he was able to flag down. Two balls and no strikes to Lobatone. Up to that high sky. Galvis says he has it, but Odubel says he has a better view of it. Two gone. StubHub Mother's Appreciation Day will be Sunday, May 1st. It's a special 2:35 first pitch, and all women 15 and older will receive that scarf right there, the Phillies Infinity scarf. It just keeps on going. It's all part of a 3-game series against the Indians. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Here is Gio Gonzalez. Has a hit and 1 at bat officially in the season. It does move. I don't know what he does to it, but it moves all over the place. he's thinking I'm going to get hit by that pitch.
Yeah, I think he'd be glad he didn't hit it. It might have fouled it off into his chest.
Watch his front foot go right towards third base.
Yeah, there it goes. Strike 3 called. 3 strikeouts for Morton, 1 in each inning. He sets the Nationals down in order here at the top of the 3rd. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 1-0. Phillies on top. Can't do that with the Fanatics ATV. Just pick it up. Well, our crack research staff says you can do that with the Fanatics ATV. You remember back in 2013, the Fanatics ATV died.
What's he doing? Helping him lift it, or just pretending he's helping him lift it?
Oh, that is so great. It looked like it was a little easier to do the little kids last night than that one right there. The Fanatic Flair Hair Visor given out to all fans today. Today's Fanatic's birthday is brought to you by Citizens Bank. There's a little kid yesterday. It was awesome.
That was tremendous.
I
still think it would have been awesome if you drove to center field. Just drove around.
All right, now you're going to give the next little Fanatic an idea.
I'll take the blame for it.
Charlie Morton will lead it off here in the bottom of the 3rd. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Morton is 1 for 4. Phillies pitchers are 5 for 24 so far. They do not have a sacrifice bunt, which is remarkable at this point. However, I guess it goes along the lines of the lack of runs that they've scored.
I got one for you. Watch Gio Gonzalez wind up, and then next inning, watch Charlie Morton wind up, and they look like a mirror image of each other. You know how you look at somebody who's right-handed, looks left-handed in the mirror? All right. I challenge you to see that.
Challenge me to refute it, or just
either way.
Well, they both do have excellent deliveries. Like I said, it's kind of the way you're supposed to do it. We'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. Freddie grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Hi, everybody. Boy, this is giveaway heaven these last couple of days, between the warm-up last night, flare hair today. Probably should warn all the teachers in the Delaware Valley about what the kids are going to look like tomorrow at school. Ground ball foul, and it's 1-1.
Matt's up here dying to don his Phillies, his Fanatic hat.
His flare hair. Matt and I are just dying to do it so we have hair again.
I'm actually going to wear it today on the drive home.
You got to put the roof down, take the top off.
That's a negative.
Let your hair blow in the wind.
I get a truck.
We'll throw you in the bed of the truck. Make it like a parade.
Oh, you went with the slick back.
Yeah.
A little gel on that guy.
Yep.
Nice. Put a little part in it.
We were discussing, we were trying to, Murph and I were talking today about being Ben Davis with flare hair. Chopper over to third. Rendon will throw out Freddie Galvis. All right, so we have our hats. Now, these are for kids, but
mine needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
I have a big head.
Where's
your hat?
Oh, right here.
Yeah. So Murph and I were discussing whether we wanted to put some gel in it, make it like. Well, you do have a big head.
Well,
oh, you're over top of the headphones.
Oh, I'm not supposed to. What do you want me to mess up my hair?
Cesar. Well, I mean, yeah, yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Matt, I mean, seriously.
I don't like it. My head's
no,
hot now.
I like it. I like it. I want it back. I want it back.
Tell you what, if they score a run right now, we got to leave them on. Or the other way around, we didn't have them on when they scored a run.
I'll keep it on if they want to score some runs. I'll keep it on. I mean, Matt, seriously, you put the headphones on, you don't even feel the headphones. Go out in the sun, you don't have to put any sunblock on it.
Never do anyway.
Well, I'm saying you probably should.
Probably.
Go out in the winter, it's not going to be cold.
I love the hat. I love the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I love the baldness.
Yeah, I guess we're not going to overcome that one. Just got to get used to it. Mike?
I just think you don't have to blow your hair dry and put gel on it.
I would like to do it for just a week just to see what it was like again. Matt can grow his mullet back out again. Everybody in Canada will be happy.
I have hair. I
need a close-up here of Tommy. He's got his slick back with some water.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. And a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Gio Gonzalez. We have played 3. On to the 4th inning. It's 1-0. Phillies on top. Fourth inning is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Let's go Phillies. On a bright sunshiny afternoon here at Citizens Bank Park, the Phillies lead at 1-0. Great crowd on hand here today. Ashburn Alley is packed. So is the Budweiser rooftop. And why not? It's a perfect day to be at the old ballpark on the Fanatic's birthday. Chris Heisey leads it off, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Heisey, who hails from just outside the Harrisburg area where he went to college, he went to Division III Messiah, said he never really got many scholarship offers out of high school. So he went to Messiah because he wanted to play basketball and baseball. And after his sophomore year, one of his buddies talked him into going to some tryout camps. So he went to a bunch, including one with the Reds, and one of the Reds scouts saw him, liked him, followed him through his junior year, and they drafted him. Said it was always a dream to play professionally. He said never thought he'd be able to play professional baseball. But just by taking the initiative by going these open tryout camps. Here's the 1-ball 2-strike pitch. Back toward the middle. That'll roll into center field. Look out, Joe. A leadoff single. Anthony Rendon's coming up, and let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, you know, despite the fact that being a base hit, when the ball is rolling on the ground behind Charlie Morton, that normally is a good sign. He is a guy that has earned the reputation of being a ground ball pitcher. In 2014 and 15 combined, he had a ground ball fly ball ratio of 2.9 to every fly ball, 2.9 ground balls. This year, it's jumped up to 4 ground balls to every fly ball that he has. That is a enormous ratio. That is good for third in all of baseball right now. So that's what he's looking for. He got the name Ground Chuck when he was in Pittsburgh, and that's what it's all about. He wants to keep the ball on the ground. Certainly the Phillies would like that too.
Yeah, he got that ground ball right there, but it just turned out to be in a spot that was beneficial for Heisey. It is an incredible jump, though. I mean, I know we're only 2 starts, now 3 starts into a season, but to go from an average of 2.9 to 4, and we've seen it. His ball is moving.
It's also a great nickname.
Ground Chuck.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Ground ball and a double play. 6-4-3. 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Right on cue, Murph. What a boy.
Love it when a plan comes together, boys.
Hey, that's the A team, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Hannibal. Yes, it is. There you see the distribution of outs 52% of the time.
The reason why is look at the late movement and the down action. You think you're going to hit it hard, all of a sudden you hit the top of the baseball, you kill the worms up in front of home plate, and an easy 6-4-3.
Well, now there's nobody on with Harper coming up, which is always a good thing. Harper has 6 hits and 8 at-bats in this series. 13 for his last 21 at Citizens Bank Park. Home runs in 5 straight games here in Philly. He has 6 in those 5 games. You remember doing that, Matt?
See, go ahead, Matt.
I was with Toronto. I remember coming in for a series and hitting 3. Yeah, I do.
You do? Got Ernie Banks on that list.
Well, I'd say after that first pitch, Harper asked the umpire if the ball was a strike, if it was outside. I always thought that if batters ask umpires where the pitch was after they swung at it, you're telling the umpire you got no idea what the strike zone is. And they do it all the time now.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's worked ahead 1-2 to Harper. Got him. Cherish it. It hasn't happened often over the last couple of years here at this ballpark. A strikeout each inning for Charlie Morton. This one against Bryce Harper. On to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Phils and Carlos Ruiz 1, the Nationals 0. for special fundraising opportunities. It's a great way to raise funds and awareness. You can take advantage of special group opportunities, including discounts, theme nights, and party areas. Plenty of benefits and special options. For more information, go to Phillies.com/group tickets. That is the control room here at Citizens Bank Park, and they are controlling the big old video board that's out in left field, and also the new one in right center field, which is awesome. Great addition to the ballpark. There's the one in left field, of course. And that's the new one out in right center field that was added this year. A little extra flair, some numbers. As Odubel takes ball one, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. That was hit sharply, but right at the second baseman, Daniel Murphy. Had one away. Michael Franco is the batter. Franco struck out his first time up. He was having a little trouble in his first at bat picking up Gio Gonzalez. Obviously, a little trouble right there.
Well, that's just I'm going to get a fastball first pitch and not recognized in the off-speed pitch. And been there, done it many times, but.
Play. Tough play for a fan in the Hall of Fame club.
Right in the breadbasket.
Nothing wrong with bring a glove to the game.
I think he will next time.
Gio's wondering what the count is. He asked if it was full. And it should be even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Well, he struck him out twice now. 5 strikeouts for Gonzalez. And Darren Ruff will be the batter.
Very good pitch right here. Curveball down and in.
Yeah, but you know, I think Mikel actually thought he could hit it. And he put the big uppercut loop downtown swing on it. Sometimes a pitch, you just see it so good out of his hand, you know. And if it's not a good curveball, he probably smokes it. But if it, it had a nice bite on it, so he misses it.
That's always been to me his best pitch. There we go. Watch the. Oh boy, he missed it by a pretty good amount.
Again,
sort of the same setup as last time.
There's some guys that you just do not pick the ball up well out of their hand. They hide it for some reason, or by the time you do pick it up, it's almost on you, and then all of a sudden it's a reaction swing. Gio Gonzalez hides the ball very well. He doesn't show you early. He stays tucked for quite a while and then explodes towards at home plate.
Well, that's good. A piece of hitting right there as he punches it toward right center field, and Ruff is going to get to second base on this one. So a 2-out double. And guys, that goes back to his last at bat, where we discussed how he was out front, and I think both of you were in agreement that he's got to shoot it the other way on a pitch like that, and that's what he does in that spot.
Yeah, he did. He didn't try to pull it. In fact, his upper body kind of lunged out to get it, as you see right there, and he stays through the ball even though it was off balance with his eyes, and If you just guard the plate, sometimes great things happen.
But it's also amazing how you can get on your front foot, but as your hands stay back, you can still drive it to right center.
Carlos, who homered his first time up, takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. National starting staff has an earned run average of 1.93, which is tops in the National League. Overall, their team ERA is 1.98 because their bullpen also is very good at 2.10. We're just really kicking off the season, but they've won 7 straight. Their offense is good the last 2 days, but prior to this, it was more about their pitching than their offense. And if they are indeed going to match with the Mets for the division, I mean, those pitching matchups, whether it be Scherzer against Harvey, Gio against Syndergaard, whatever, those pitching matchups are going to be huge. Steven Strasburg against DeGrom. Outside, 2-1. Well, those are the rankings we talk about. 9 wins. And the whip is 3rd, and they haven't allowed many home runs. They've allowed 1 today.
That's why they're in first place.
2-1 pitch coming to Carlos. And he lays off. It's 3-1.
First base open. Carlos homered the last time. Will he challenge him, Matt?
No. I mean. No. You know, when they lost Jordan Zimmerman, I was kind of scratching my head thinking, well, that's a huge loss.
I would agree.
But obviously, they relied on Ross to be a very good pitcher. We saw him the opening day. Tremendous stuff.
And they have Roark, too.
Roark, who was probably 2 years ago their best pitcher.
15 wins.
Yeah, best starting pitcher. 15 wins, you're going to the bullpen, son. Now you're back.
Borges is on deck.
Challenged him twice. Well, one was, I guess that was a changeup the previous pitch. 84. Good idea. Yeah, breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball. Carlos kept the hands back and kind of stayed right through that thing. He made a great swing at that ball.
You know, it's funny when Chooch went to Panama for the WBC and he hit those couple of home runs, his approach has changed a little bit. He got some confidence from those couple of home runs he hit over there. You can tell by his swing early this season.
So he got a miss. He struck out. Gonzalez will watch the throw go to first base. That's his 6th strikeout, an 8-pitch at bat.
I'm not saying he's going to get a hit every time, but at least when you leave the day, you feel pretty good about your swing.
Brought to you by McDonald's. Come to McDonald's for an Egg McMuffin and medium iced coffee for $3.49. By Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. 1-0 Phillies on top. And Daniel Murphy will lead it off. Murphy hit one to left field his first time up. Tyler Goodell tracked it down. And it's 0-1. Daniel Murphy, who said that he signed with the Nationals for a number of reasons as he tries to check his swing, and he didn't go, according to the third base umpire Kerwin Danley. He said a big deal was the fact that it was less than 2 hours from where they train currently, from his offseason home in Jacksonville, so he could steal some time at home during spring training, kind of extend the offseason a little bit. He said there were other offers from other teams. He said, but the draw of being in the National League East, where he is very aware of the competition, the pitchers, he said that was a big deal as well. The $37 million helps. Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And he's playing for, you know, a
contender,
top flight team.
Yep.
He's going to contend all year.
There's a single up the middle to start the 5th inning.
Man, that's about as simple a stroke as you can have.
It's almost considered a boring swing because it's so good, and it's the exact same every time. Boring swing, as in, I mean, it's a good swing.
How many hours do you think it takes to perfect the swing? Like, let's say, to your swing, Matt, your swing. I mean,
I'll handle that. 10,000.
Think so?
That's
yeah.
it.
Did you read the Talent Code, the book?
I did not.
Have you heard of it?
I
have
Well,
not.
the Talent Code is it's a great book for anybody out there interested in being a genius in some field, whether it be
Talent Code.
Yeah. And the hypothesis is that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become a genius at something. Be it skateboarding, surfing, soccer, and there's a study about the greatest soccer players. Messi, it talks about Messi, the greatest surfer in the world now. Tiger Woods has studied in it. Can't think of I don't want to say Daniel Coyle. I can't think of the author's name, but it's a very worthwhile read for anybody interested in what it takes to become sort of an expert or tops in your field, or they use the term genius.
Are you in agreement with what's said about that?
Well, there's something, according to them, there's something in your brain called myelin, and the more you practice and the more you experiment, try, fail, perfect something through failure, the more you build up myelin in your brain.
Worth is struck out. That's 5 Ks today for Charlie Morton. Yeah, there's one away.
It's called deep practice in the book. It's called Deep Practice. So to answer your question, if you want to become a genius,
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
Here's Clint Robinson, who struck out his first time up. Runner goes, pitch is spun foul behind home plate. Into the Hall of Fame. Took a bounce in the Hall of Fame club and then shot backward fast. And it's 0-1. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Mets are shutting out the Indians 6-0. That's Corey Kluber, who's pitching today for the Indians. He's allowed 9 hits and 6 earned runs. Conforto, he's had a good offensive start. He has a couple doubles, a couple RBIs in that game. Yesterday it unraveled for the Mets and Matt Harvey Steven Matz has gone 6 innings. We will not see him this week. A bit outside, 1-2 to Robinson.
You know, to translate that question into hitting a baseball, it's like when you're hitting off the tee or when you're doing front side toss, you're in a cage, you just don't just repeat without a sense of how it feels while you're doing it. And if it doesn't feel good and you're trying to accomplish something in your practice session and it doesn't feel good, you do it a different way. If it doesn't feel good, oh, that feels good. That feels good. That feels good. And then you fail, and then you fail, and then you try to get back to where you were, and man, that feels good. That's the way I want it to feel in a game. That's called deep practice.
Over to second base, and that could be 2. There's 1 and 2. Charlie Morton has been able to roll a couple double play balls here this afternoon, and the side is retired here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. On to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Phillies 1, the Nationals nothing. Minor league report, and we take a look at what's going on around the Phillies minor league system. Will Venables finally gotten it going a little bit, 2 for 4 as Lehigh Valley defeated Rochester. Anthony Vasquez, the veteran, well, he had a double and 2 RBIs helping his cause. Threshers defeated Jupiter yesterday, and the Blue Claws upended or lost to Greensboro 4-2. Zach Coppola had his 3rd RBI in 2 days. Jorge Alfaro is off to a good start for Reading. That's good news for the Phillies. Andrew Knapp is hitting well. It's also good news as we celebrate the Fanatic's birthday here at Citizens Bank Park, brought to you by Citizens Bank. Borges serves one down the right field line. Foul. Well, this is Peter Borges' last time up.
Look at his hands. We talk about him getting his hands back in the zone. Mike, you can go right from here. And
well, no, what his hands, he should hang on his backside a little bit. Well,
that one's back toward the middle, and that's a base hit for Borges.
Get it on the ground, you have a chance. But yeah, what we were doing was watching how when the front foot goes down, the stride foot, the hands should go back. All right, watch what happens here. Front foot not down, but hands are going forward as the front foot's in the air. Real quick, let's show that one more time.
And it's called a separation. That's where you have the separation. Still, the hands not going back, but the fact that you get on top of the ball on the ground, you got the knock on that swing right there.
Tyler Goodell is up with the runner at first base. Goodell hits one behind Mickey Morandini, and it's 0-1.
And might I suggest, Matt, you go down and hop in that video room with Peter tomorrow in the afternoon and show him that. So tell him just what you just said.
Well, if I wasn't in Canada, I would.
Oh, you won't be here. I'm sorry.
Toss over. Borges back well ahead of the tag.
But you know that replay that we were talking about right there is a great tool. That is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to a hitter seeing what he does on video. That particular view right there is the one that matters most.
But Sunday, I will be watching the game on MLB.TV, so I will be able to relay or text him what I think. How's that?
Perfect.
It is true, though. I mean, you talk about the video. You guys both are able to break it down pretty comfortably. In this day and age, you have so many tools to utilize. And that's a good indication right there of what you're talking about.
Exactly. And the side view, you get a chance to see everything. If you're leaking your front side, if you're leaving too early, if your hands aren't going back, timing with your foot, and you can tell if you're on time with your swings or not. Peter Borges, his first at bat, he was late getting his foot down. That's the reason why he got beat.
0-2 to Goodell. And he struck him out. 7 strikeouts for Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to that calling timeout thing. I mean, I think it's important that the hitter take charge. And you may not get it. You can ask for timeout anytime you want, and the umpire will jump out of there, and then you have your timeout. But if he doesn't give it to you, you got to go in there and continue to hit.
Well, now Morton, who's up in the box. See if he tries to move Borges up to second base. Phillies pitchers do not have any sack bunts yet this year.
Good.
Yep.
Now, one thing about calling timeout, the most important thing is, this is Herrera in his first at bat. Watch him take his top hand off the bat and call for time. It's too late. Motion's already being made. You're not going to get it. So, for the kids that are watching at home or anyone who wants to call timeout, you yell timeout, but always keep your hands on the barrel or the bat, because you never know if you're going to get the timeout or not.
That's an excellent point. All you got to do is say timeout. That's an excellent point. I mean, when he took his hand off the bat, he was dead.
You're done.
72 pitches for Gio Gonzalez, and I would yell it as loud as possible too. Maybe you get the pitcher to step off.
Just pull a Cameron, pull Cameron. He's got that loud voice.
That's it.
Yes, hoop.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So we're looking for our first sacrifice of the year right here, Tom?
First one.
Well, I'd like to see Charlie Morton get that back foot turned a little bit. He doesn't turn it. He keeps it at the degree right there, the 90-degree angle. If he ever turns. See how he turns it?
Yep. Back toward the mound, short enough that Borges is able to get to second easily. So the sacrifice is successful. Putout goes 1-4. 2 away.
Excellent bunt.
And Freddie Galvis will be the hitter. Murphy talking to Gio Gonzalez. Is that for Murphy to understand the signs? Is that why he's talking so long?
Well, either that or discussing what he's going to do in Miami when they get there tonight.
He's going to go home.
He's probably just saying he's going to leave him alone. Peter Borges, leave him alone. And what sign are we going afterwards?
Or how am I going to pitch Galvis? All right, so now they asked for time there. I mean, it wasn't as long, but he still asked for time. Andy Fletcher says it's time to go. And that one's lined out to left. Worth coming on, and he makes the catch. side is retired. He hit it on the nose. No runs. 1 hit. 1 man left. Come on, wake up. Wake up. Fanatic's coming out in a couple innings. Cross Philly of the week is introducing himself to Philadelphia in striking style. Thursday afternoon versus the Padres was a 113-pitch performance of domination by Vince Velasquez. His first complete game shutout consisted of 80% first pitch strikes, while retiring 22 of the final 23 batters he faced. His fastball was humming all game as he fanned 16 batters, the most by a Philly since Cliff Lee in 2011. The 23-year-old has a 15-inning scoreless streak in his first 2 starts. And his stinginess is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. We will see Vince Velasquez again on Tuesday night against the New York Mets. There are tickets still available for that ball game. It'll be Logan Verrett against Velasquez. Here we're going to the top of the 6th inning. Stephen Drew will lead it off. Charlie Morton falls behind 2-0. He hasn't fallen behind that often in today's game.
Wouldn't it be easy for Stephen Drew to poke a ball at the shortstop? I mean, I know it's not easy for a power hitter to do it, but I would think there's a lot of hits available right over there right now. Look at that field.
Yeah, there is. It's wide open at shortstop, as you'll see. But I guess if it's not in your swing pattern, it's easier said than done.
There's a strike. It's 3-1. Was there a point in either one of your careers where you would have been able to hit the other way against the shift? I mean, would you have made it a point to do it? Or would that play into the other team's hands in your minds?
It really depends on the situation.
If I was Stephen Drew, and they played me like that, I definitely would attempt it. Never win a long ball or something like that. Would affect the outcome of the game. But in his case, he's not a home run hitter, or he's not going to change the game. He just wants to get to first base. I mean, even if you had to square around and go bing like that and poke a ball to shortstop, you got to hit.
We talk about his average being low. Last year he had just over 200, 201. He had 17 home runs, but 201. If his average would be up higher, if he'd be able to do stuff like that.
I don't think he's worried about his average.
You don't think so?
17 home runs is what he likes.
Yeah. Lobatone rolls it to the right side. Charlie Morton tips it into the glove of Hernandez, and they're still able to get the out at first.
Good play by Cesar.
Well, the Fanatic celebrating his birthday, and he got a visitor. It's not Tommy Lasorda, it's Tommy Swordfish from the Superstars. Tommy Lasorda and the Fanatic have had a love-hate, more hate relationship over the years. Although the Fanatic was a little concerned about Tommy Swordfish. He's looking for somebody to come and help him out. He's deflating. He got inflated and then he was gone.
He got pumped up.
Yes, he did. The Superstars were founded in 1998 in Louisville, Kentucky. Their two founders, one was the mascot for the AAA team in Louisville, the Redbirds at the time. And now they have over 40 characters around their company with all these crazy names like Ken Giraffe Jr. and Monkey Mantle and Nolan Rhino. Saw them before the game. I'm sure we're going to see them again at some point. Gio Gonzalez takes a breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Wouldn't it make sense for Gio Gonzalez just to bunt him to third, since there's so many ways that you can score from third base,
particularly in a 1-0 game? Swing and a miss. And there are 2 outs. Well, now here's Chris Heisey.
I mean, back to that question I just asked. I don't want to sound crazy, and it's, you probably, I don't know, somebody'd find something wrong with it if you did it. Can you imagine the pressure on infielders? The chopper in the infield, the pass ball,
I do wonder about it.
The balk.
Yeah, I do wonder about it. And here's my thought. I know he's in the scoring position, but you have a guy that has a ball that moves all over the place in Charlie Morton. I'm not saying you do it with everybody, but you know, he's a ball that moves all over the place. You don't know if that ball can skip any which way if the guy's over at third base for a wild pitch, or as you said, a pass ball.
Well, I guess I'll be the bad guy, and I'll disagree. I don't want to give just an out. Go ahead and try to knock him in. He's already in scoring position.
That is the theory, though, Matt. You're not off on that. I mean, that is the theory that people have, is that you're giving away an out just to move somebody 90 feet away. He's already in scoring position. But your point's taken like that. Yeah. And I've
he's not going to hit Charlie Morton.
That's what my thought is. It depends on the pitcher that you're facing. That why not do it every once in a while?
But you know what? Last night we would have thought that
Scherzer?
That Scherzer probably wasn't going to hit Aaron Nola either.
Very true. Heisey's ahead 3-0. He's got Rendon on deck. And he's got a runner at second base and a 1-0 Phillies lead here in the top of the 6th.
Got to be careful with this.
Yeah,
pitch.
I'm just thinking the same thing. You got to watch this pitch.
Boy, that's awful.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, there's your ball.
Yeah, he never went over the.
There's your ball.
Never broke the back plane of the mound to turn toward the runner.
What are the odds of a balk after our discussion?
100%. It was almost like.
That looked a little strange. I thought you had to swing around.
There's a Louis T on.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, he came back. You're right. It wasn't until Heisey said something, though. The home plate umpire called it. And ball 4. So that puts runners on first and third. Even in the digital age, there are office products you can't live without, like 3M super sticky Post-it notes, available in a world of colors and ideal for the most hard to stick surfaces. Personally delivered to your desktop for free. By who? But WB Mason. Anthony Rendon is the batter. Rendon has grounded his shortstop twice, once into a double play. There have been 7 ground ball outs by Charlie Morton.
Big out right here, gentlemen.
Yeah, because if you don't get him, that means you're going to have 2 in scoring position for Harper.
Ooh, we got a call. Ball could have been high and inside.
Well, and also, you know, you have Harper on deck. What a spot to be in, is if you're hitting the, you're second in the order, third in the order, depending on where Bryce Harper's hitting. You know you're going to get pounded with fastballs. Here comes a fastball. Here comes a fastball. I do not want to walk you to get the bases loaded.
Especially if he goes to ball 2.
Bates hit it to right field. That'll tie it up at 1. Going to third base is Heisey. So Rendon with an RBI single, and it's a 1-1 ball game.
That's good hitting right there. With 2 outs going the other way. My next question would be, would he have scored from second on that ball?
I think he would have. I think he would have.
I don't know.
Yeah. See, I don't think he would have scored because
really?
One, you would have had runners on first and second. Right? You had a man on second base. There's no balk. Next guy walks.
Oh, well,
now all of a sudden Darren's playing back in
well,
the
that's
position.
a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. He would have fielded it.
Would have been close.
That's a good point. I'm thinking more in terms as that ball gets away from Ruiz, it'll allow Rendon to go to second base.
Ooh.
Now what do you want to do here? You got Murphy on deck.
I was just going to say, cagey move would have been to stay on first base right there, huh? But you can bring a 400 hitter up to the plate if you walk Harper.
The league's leading hitter, first 10 games.
So you want to be a manager,
yeah,
in the major leagues, huh? Well, if you walk Harper, then the walk comes into play. There's no freedom. Now you can mess around with Harper here, right, Matt?
Yes.
Tease him with some off-speed stuff. You got Chooch, best guy in the league at blocking balls in the dirt. Ooh.
Harper did not think that was a strike on the inside part of the plate. It's now 1-2.
Let me ask you a question real quick on this. Oh, okay. So he's telling him to get back in the box. Whatever happened to our rule if you can't walk out of the batter's box?
They haven't really enforced that the last couple of years since they implemented it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 runners in scoring position, a run in here in the 6th inning. Back toward the middle, off the mound. Galvis has to hurry, and it's in time to get Bryce Harper. What a play by Freddie Galvis, who took his momentum to the right side, and the side is retired. Now the Nationals are saying, hold on, we want to review it. Although Dusty Baker hasn't moved from his perch, Chris Spire's taking a look at it. I think he got him. Let's take a look at it in slow-mo, and he did get him. That's a great shot, seeing the ball dent the glove as it came in. So that'll go down as a 6-3 in the books. The Nationals will leave 2 in scoring position. It is a 1-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Mason, you can't go wrong when you buy right. Buy Jefferson. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu and buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit delvalhondadealers.com. 1-1 game as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Well, this is the play. They actually went ahead and reviewed it, and we showed you. Look at the ball's in the glove, and now the foot's on the bag. So he's out. This is where replay needs to take the step forward. The ball's in the glove there, and his foot's not on the bag. They walked over, and they still reviewed it. It still took over a minute to. They should put the headphones on, and they should be just told he's out. I mean, now that didn't kill any time because we were in between innings. We had gone to a break. It wasn't a big deal. But I don't know how they didn't see that.
What do the Nationals lose for that? For losing the?
Well, it's this point in the game, so they have a challenge. So they figure they might as well do it now. It's in the 6th because from the 7th inning on, it's up to the umpires anyway. So the umpires, if they had a challenge that they can request it, the umpires would do it. Now they can just suggest it to the umpires, and the umpires would do it. So they didn't really lose anything by it. So now we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 1-1 game. That was a huge out and a huge play.
Great play by Freddie Galvis on the right field side of second base. Harper runs well. Probably didn't get out of the box. Maybe it was kind of a funky swing at that pitch, trying to force it up the middle. But great play by Freddie. Went a long way for it and got a quick release on it.
Ball and no strikes to Cesar, who's 1 for 2, bunted his way on the first time up. And it's 2-0. Hector Neris is warming in the pen. By the way, we gave our Citizens Bank minor league report before. We alluded to how Jorge Alfaro has started for the fight. He just picked up another RBI. That is a great sign from an organization standpoint that he and Knapp are both hitting well down in the farm system. One's in AAA, the other one's in AA.
Great problem to have.
Yep.
Depth in your catching.
3 balls, 1 strike to Cesar. That one's out to right field. Bryce Harper shading his eyes from the sun, puts it away. Time now for the Jeep Stuff the Fans trivia question answer. All right, guys, here we go. Who are the 2 Phillies that hit grand slams against the Nationals on April 27, 2009? Matt, first of all, I know you know the answer. How do you remember this answer? Is it because you?
Well, 1, I was on the team, and 2, I struck out that game.
So whereas most people remember all the home runs, you remember your late strikeouts.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of them. Howard hit a grand slam versus Martis. Is that his name?
I believe that's correct.
And Hanrahan gave up a grand slam to Ibanez.
Big Joel Hanrahan. That was a huge day.
I think we won 13-9, 8, 13.
I believe that was a doubleheader, and Raul had. I mean, that was a day to have for Raul. Log back on to Phillies.com and find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. 2-0 to Odubel.
Yeah, he straightened you out. Ah, good for him. How old was he at the time? Good for him.
3-0.
Odubel, we talked earlier this morning in the batting cage, and I told him, to say, you got to walk a game. Ooh, close to a walk a game. Walk a game's a lot. But, I mean, let's try to work in that walk every game, and you won't believe what you'll hit this year.
It was something he wanted to make a conscious effort in improving this past offseason, and it certainly has been an improvement, at least to start the year.
Watch him clap his hands if we get ball 4 here.
And there you go. Ready?
No.
Somewhat of a reserved reaction.
Well, I think he was waiting to see if it was going to be called a strike or not by Andy Fletcher.
MLB.com at bat. Follow the Phillies live with the MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
We got a man on our 3-4 hitters, 3-4-5 hitters coming up here.
Time for a little damage.
It's opportunity.
Yep.
That just means the game's slowed down again. He's going to hold and hold and hold. Good.
There we go.
This is something the Nationals started doing. Steven Strasburg was the first one to start doing it, setting and then holding, and now the other pitchers have sort of followed suit. For one reason or another, they feel like it controls the running game more. Inside, 1-0. I would call time one more time just to see what happens. I don't know if Andy Fletcher will keep giving time, but
just watch how Michael Franco gets his hands going around. He has that little circular motion. That's the way he gets ready to hit. See how he's moving? Now his hands stop. Now all of a sudden he holds it, holds it, and holds it. For count of 1001, 1002, then call time. Because the last thing you want to do is hold that bat there for a while. Now all of a sudden everything gets tight. You start twitching a little bit. You get anxious. You want to start going after the baseball. Hit on your time.
Right there, you're right. If you watch it right there.
Chopper out towards short. Stephen Drew flips to second for one, and they're able to turn the double play. And the side is retired. 6-4-3. 6 of the books. We'll go to the 7th. All leaving at 1.
Well, guys, it's time for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. I take you back to April 17th, 1976, when, well, Phil's third baseman Mike Schmidt tied the Major League record by hitting 4 consecutive home runs against the Cubs. The Phillies rallied in that game from an 18-16 to win 18-16. They trailed 12-1 and 13-2, but then Mike went off on the 5th, the 7th, the 8th, and the game winner in the 10th. Mike, 40 years. Happy anniversary.
40? Has it been
40 years since that happened?
Years.
1976.
Right, wow.
Hey.
Yeah, that was a memorable day, and the most memorable thing about it was we won, I think, our 50 out of our next 63.
Really?
Yeah. Ran away with the division.
How did you hit with all those wrappers blowing all over the field?
Did you see him? I didn't see him.
You have that much pop to go second straight away. That was impressive. Right center.
Straight away. Yeah, that was the one off of Garmin, wasn't it?
You strong.
I believe so.
Me got a lot of adrenaline.
What you call barreling the baseball.
Hector Neris is on the pitch for Charlie Morton as we begin the 7th inning. Here's the 3rd home run.
I mean, seriously, this is a nice short. I don't have to break it down. It's Mike Schmidt.
No, you're
but
right.
Look at that. But look where this lands. This goes above the batter's eye. That's up in this
shot.
land.
That's a shot.
Look at that.
Wow.
Ah, short swing.
Isn't that amazing, that video we had? It was when color TV was first invented,
Just
wasn't it?
phasing it in. What are you thinking going up that 4th time? I mean, were you thinking, all right, I got 3, I'm going to get a 4th here? I mean, go back. Let's think about this a little bit. As Murphy gets his second hit. Leadoff single here in the 7th inning.
Well, I had a pretty good day going prior to that. And 3 in a row is pretty good.
3 in a row is really good. You wanted to get out of there. You wanted to.
Well, How do you say, what are you thinking? I mean, you're maybe hitting 4 has to go through your mind.
I guess that's what I'm saying. I mean, for all of us, if we ever had the opportunity, we'd get greedy there. Here's Jason Worth. He's 0 for 2. That was against Charlie Morton.
Boy, J-Dub's got a case of the flinches right now.
Yeah, he does. He has some bad balance working right now when he's hitting.
Matt, don't go down and talk to him until after they leave.
I won't.
1 ball, no strikes to Worth. Over toward third. That could be 2. Franco had a little trouble. Now he gets it out, and Hernandez has trouble. 5-4 on the putout.
That ball was smoked. That was a nice play by Michael.
The shame of it is the first bobble didn't hurt. The second bobble, there was no chance to then turn the double play. So a fielder's choice. There's more than 1 bobble there.
Well, it was a bobble, bad exchange, and palm ball thrown to second base. But at least they got an out.
By the way, Charlie Morton's out of this game after just throwing 80 pitches. Kind of an interesting decision. One ball and no strikes to Clint Robinson, who has hit it to 1 double play. Morton finished with 8 ground ball outs, 8 of the 18 outs on the ground, 6 strikeouts. In the dirt. Well, here are the other guys that have accomplished what Mike did on this date 40 years ago. Ed Delahanty, Chuck Klein, both Phillies. Willie Mays, the great Willie Mays. Carlos Delgado, I remember when he did that. And Josh Hamilton, he's the most recent to do it.
The one that really amazed me was this Mark Whitten down here behind Bob Horner. He's doing that in Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
Whew. That's 4 big ones. At least back then. I mean, you know, it was a pretty big ballpark.
Didn't he go 5 for 5 that day, and his 5th at bat he hit the one off the wall for a double?
I believe he went 5 for 5. I don't remember what he did.
He hit the wall on his 5th at bat.
He was a big man.
And he hit for the cycle that day. Solo shot, 2-run shot,
Correct.
3-run shot, and a granny.
Yeah, Mike.
How many RBIs?
How come you didn't do that?
12.
How come you didn't do that?
12. See, I thought 8 was a good day.
3-0 to Clint Robinson.
Well, that's 10 RBIs, but he had 12 in the day, I believe.
And ball 4. So 2 runners on. Hector, who's got a scoreless streak going here, dating back to last year. There's a few base runners in this inning already. Time now for a Honda game summary. We're tied at 1. The Phillies scored on a home run by Ruiz. The Nationals scored on an RBI single by Rendon. Gio Gonzalez has gone 6. He's still in. Charlie Morton is out after going 6. Charlie was good again today.
And we don't know why. 80 pitches?
80 pitches. Well, today, of course, is the Fanatic's birthday.
How old is the Fanatic?
Well, the Fanatic first appeared in 1978. That is the first friend of the Fanatic, Dave Raymond, who was in attendance for the birthday.
He's 38 years young.
38 years young. He was alive before that, though, Matt. This is when he came to the States. He's not much older than that, though.
Is he a citizen?
At this point, yeah, he's an assumed citizen. He's got dual citizenship. Galapagos Islands.
He's got a permanent residence card.
That's it. Thank you, Matt, for clarifying.
Which means, by the way, you can come and go as you please in Canada and United States.
I don't think we'll ever get rid of him.
No, I don't think so. Why would you? Tremendous.
One of the greatest ideas ever around sports was to bring in the Philly Fanatic.
Well, would you say the chicken was the
inspiration? I think the chicken was the inspiration. that sort of led to the invitation to bring the Fanatic out.
There's been some great ones. The Chicken, Fanatic, Max Patkin.
Max Patkin.
Max Patkin.
Swing and a miss. Drew out front after that splitter. 2 outs.
Big out right there.
That is now 9 strikeouts. 9 of the 21 outs that Neris has recorded this year.
Whoa, look at that thing go. What's that, the bat avoider?
We can use that. Or the bat misser.
I'm going to start writing those down. Jose Lobaton. Lobaton grounded out his last time up. Flied out his first time up.
How are you, brother? Trying to stay alive. Amen.
Hector Neris will throw that split finger fastball anytime in the count. Not very often you see a first pitch split finger fastball. It's usually a breaking ball to get ahead or a changeup. Back-to-back splits. That's about 4 in a row now. And they say it's one of the hardest balls to catch because sometimes it goes into the lefties, sometimes it goes straight down, sometimes it has the action of a real good sinker, and sometimes it comes in just like a knuckleball. You can see the grip right there he has.
Today's version of a Bruce Sutter.
But the great thing is he throws 94, 95.
That one's over toward first. Backhanded on a slide by Darren Ruff and a quick flip to Neris covering in time. A fine play all the way around. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th after we stretch. Darren Ruff will lead things off. The Phillies will send Darren Ruff to the plate to start things off in this inning. Phillies fans, next time you want to grab Phillies seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you price the location of the seats and show you which tickets at StubHub give you the best deal. So get to StubHub today. Well, if you're at the ballpark here today, you can see Harry Canary in the radio booth. Now, this is the original Superstar, guys, and the founders of the Superstars, their dad came up with this suggestion back in the 90s, and this is the first of what's now 40 Superstar characters, and this is Harry Canary. Take a listen.
2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey! Saluting the Philly Fanatic on his birthday.
I think Larry and Scott are worried about those lights that are on top of the booth there.
That's pretty cool. I guess that's the ultimate in superstardom.
is to have a superstar.
To have a superstar. Character of yourself.
That's actually a good point. We're trying to get Matt Starefish. You like starfish? Trying to get Matt.
I hear you.
What do you think, Matt?
Wasting your time.
Come on.
Not going to happen.
Reminder that the Flyers will come home tomorrow to take on the Washington Capitals. Game 3. Total Flyers playoff coverage starts tomorrow at 6. Right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Need to crank up those scoring opportunities tomorrow in that game.
I think the same thing could be said here, too.
Well, yeah, but I agree.
Make a great play. The end of previous inning, you lead off the next. Aaron Ruff. It was a big play.
It was a big play. Perfect technique by both.
Throw a little leather at him today.
Darren is doubled today against Gio Gonzalez and has flied to left. 3 career home runs against Gonzalez.
I'm calling one.
Right here? Well, that was a good pitch.
Reason being, he hit that ball to right center last time up. Just felt like at some point he's going to get a nice pitch to drive out of the ballpark, middle in.
Fastball, and it's 1-2.
You didn't say it loud enough because that was
like
the pitch.
that.
Spoils that breaking ball foul. That went into the camera well off the third base side. Andy Rabel did not help Charlie and warn him that the ball was coming his way. Charlie was looking the other way with his camera. 1-2 pitch coming to Ruff. Went after a high fastball and strikeout number 8. Boy, that's a quiet 8 strikeouts, isn't it? For Gio Gonzalez. Carlos Ruiz is coming up. Carlos earlier in the game was bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pie.
Bringing the Yellowwood on a 3-0 fastball. Rushing to left field for his 2nd home run of the year.
Starts him off with a pitch outside. 93 pitches now for Gio Gonzalez.
Good take. Borderline fastball, pitch that you could probably hit. But in a tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th, you're looking for one to drive. So we can do another promo for Yellowwood.
Change up, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, that was a standard pitch backwards left-hander approach. You know that one. Ball 1, change up. Make it look like a fastball coming out of your hand. Here's that 3-0 pitch again, by the way.
Probably had the green light, just didn't think it was as good of a pitch as the one earlier in the game.
Yeah, 3-0, you really got to think about hitting the ball to left field or hitting it foul. Last thing you want to do is hit a weak fly ball to right field or weak fly ball to center.
Well, he'll take the walk. Peter Borges, who has singled today. Mike Maddox is second next to Dusty Baker. Davey Lopes. Maddox is heading toward the phone. It looks like they're going to get somebody up. Dusty's got himself some new wristbands down there. Carlos a short lead off first. Foul territory. Robinson is there, and there are 2 outs. And Tyler Goodell, who is 0 for 2, will stroll to the plate. Goodell fly to center his first time up and struck out in the 5th inning. Phillies do have the likes of Cedric Hunter, Emmanuel Burris, Ryan Howard, Andres Blanco on the bench. They also have Cameron Rupp, but he's the backup catcher this afternoon.
Something about Pete Borges, it just probably just thinking too much too, you know, right? Just his mind's not free.
Yeah, Pete McCannon talked about that yesterday, that he's pressing to do well.
Yes, new ballpark, new team. He wants to show everybody what he can do.
Struggled last year offensively. Didn't get as much playing time as he would like.
And he always got everybody trying to help him because they like, you know, they like him. Want to see him do good.
Great guy.
You know, so
great
people
guy.
have want to offer some input. Before you know it, everybody's offering it.
That was lined to second, caught by Daniel Murphy.
Matt, me, the hitting coach.
Side is retired. 7 in the books. You give the Fanatic an opportunity, he'll try to help as well. We'll go to the 8th. Is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play the new instant game. Escape from Margaritaville. Players must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. By Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at ChevyDealer.com. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, when Pharrell wrote this song, I'm not sure if he thought that Franklin from the Sixers or Finley from the Threshers or the Fanatic and the rest of the superstars would be dancing along with it. But why not? Fanatic's happy today. Even though the Phils are tied at 1, the young smiles in the audience today have been fantastic. The fighting screwball is here. Michael Taylor will lead it off as a pinch hitter. It's going to take Harry Canary some time to get up the stairs. David Hernandez takes over for Hector Neris here in the 8th. 95 on that fastball. It is a process to get him up the stairs.
Honestly, I think he just got down and had to turn around and go right back up. It took him a while going down.
Yeah, well, he was singing here, so other responsibilities. Taylor started the first 2 games of this series. Fanatics collecting birthday cards. Out to center field, Odubel Herrera is there to make the catch.
The ball was tagged right there.
By the way, I forgot to tell you guys, there's some Fanatics birthday cake in the lunchroom. You okay?
I'm gluten-free.
Yeah. I don't believe that for a second. No. Here's Heisey. Heisey's been on base twice, and he takes a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Is the Turkey Hill ice cream gluten-free?
What about gluten-free?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would have to bring that up.
Yeah.
I eat that because I love Frankie Two Scoops. I got to go get some ice cream. Gave him a Fanatic hat today. He loved it. Turkey Hill.
I don't think that churro that you had in the ice cream yesterday was gluten-free either.
Why, am I really that bad?
No, you're just keeping business alive. 1-2 to Heisey. Heisey starting today in center field for Taylor, who just lined out. Over to third. That's a fair ball behind the bag. And Ruff, did he apply the tag? He's saying he did. And he goes right to the dugout. The first base umpire, Mark Rippinger, waved that he was off the bag, which is an indication that if the throw was on time and on target, it would have been an out. Larry Bowa on the phone, and they'll decide whether they want to review this or not.
What's wrong with that?
It does look like he got his foot, but it's hard to tell.
He did.
Yeah, it does look like he got it, doesn't it?
This will be the perfect angle right here.
We're going to win another one.
No, he's got it. He's got his arm.
Oh my gosh. He may not have.
I don't know by that angle. I really don't. That is a tough one. I mean, you might as well see right there. It looks like he's got, he's got it. He's got his foot. He's got the tip of the foot.
He tagged him with his forearm.
Correct. That's okay. You got the ball. You can do whatever you want. All right. So the umpires will review this now. Whether the folks in New York are looking at what we just saw and they've decided they can decide it or not, I don't know. Mike, you have a timeout.
Timeout. He has to tag him with the ball if he's off the bag.
Well, he has it. Like he's got it in his glove.
Yeah, but I mean, if his forearm.
No, it's good.
Hit his leg.
No, that's okay. That'll work. That'll work.
Help me here.
I know what you're saying. It's like if I catch the ball and I tag you with my right hand.
Right.
He's not out.
But he's got it's his forearm on the glove hand.
Oh, well.
Or his wrist, his forearm, whichever. I'm going to say that it's good. And Joe West and Mark Rippinger's to your left. Joe West is the crew chief. They're going to let the folks in New York decide.
What was your question before the timeout?
I don't think I had a question. I don't remember where I was going with it. Here we go. They're going to have a decision. This is a quick one. He is out.
Great play.
We win another one.
So 2 away.
Great play by Darren Ruff.
Yes.
Wow.
Great play.
Big play.
It's one of the hardest plays to play, and that's why it's going to be your Hyundai defensive play of the game right here. I mean, this is just a good concentration, not worrying about the collision, catching the ball and knowing that you got to make a tag right there with the forearm. Nice heads-up play. That's your Hyundai defensive play of the game. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Breaking ball to Rendon is in there.
Nice work, Matt. But let's not forget that earlier defensive play Darren Ruff had. Going to his right with the winning run on third. And that big play Freddie had earlier in the game.
That one is pulled down the left field line. That's a fair ball. So that play by Darren Ruff is huge at this point. Although he probably wouldn't have scored. That would have put runners on second and third with one man down. Instead, it's 2 outs and a runner at second base.
Rendon, another line drive. Last time up, drove in the winning run with a shot by the first baseman to right field, or the tying run, excuse me. And there, a 2-out double down the left field line.
Well, Pete Maccannon's already signaled to the pen, so David Hernandez is going to come out. I think David wants to finish this inning, but they're going to go with the left-hander Elvis Araujo with Bryce Harper coming up. So a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies and the Nationals tied at 1. We'll see what Elvis Araujo will do against Bryce Harper when we return to Philadelphia. Awareness Night will take place Saturday, May 14th when the Phillies take on the Cincinnati Reds. It's a free Phillies cap to all fans. There's the cap right there. It's all part of that Cincinnati Reds series, 13th, 14th, and the 15th. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. So Bryce Harper is on to face Elvis Araujo. You know, we were talking to between innings and about the tag play, and just to emphasize what Mike said. Mike, you are right. If he tagged him with, let's say, the other hand and the ball was in the glove, he would have been safe. The fact that it hit the wrist, at least that's what the interpretation is, that's okay. Here's Harper against Araujo, and the first pitch is in there. It's 0-1. Left-handed pitching has not bothered him at all. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Left-handed pitching won't bother him because his barrel stays through the zone so long. If he gets fooled, he can still hit it.
A good hack at that fastball.
I think we saw that the other night too with Oberholzer.
The curveball hit for a home run.
Yeah. That shot in left field shows us that Franco was way off the line. With a count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Bryce Harper. Outside with a fastball. not bite. Down the left field line, Goodell will give it a look. It's going to be back into the seats, and it remains 3-2. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
And here's where Harper's become a real mature hitter, Matt. He knows that when he runs on second base, he fought that fastball off to stay alive down the left field line.
Got a bit out front of that one.
That's where it's great to have Chooch behind the plate for sure.
Down low, so it puts runners on first and second, but you have another lefty and Daniel Murphy coming up here in the top of the 8th inning in a 1-1 game. Felipe Rivero, the lefty, is warming up in the pen for the Nationals. Looks like he's going to be the next one out. Genmar Gomez is warming in the bullpen for the Phillies, and Bob McClure is going to stroll out to the mound to talk to Araujo. With Daniel Murphy coming up. Well, you'd love to end this right here by getting Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, and it's so hard, especially with Harper swinging the bat the way he is right now, being locked in, and Murphy swinging the bat extremely well and leading the league and hitting so far with 457. I mean, really, pick your poison. Who do you?
Well, I don't know what you think, Matt, but I think that discussion was, how are you going to pitch him? How do you want to pitch him? And let's make sure we play him accordingly.
Right.
Right.
And just to give you an idea, he's 5 for 7 against left-handed pitching so far this year.
Well, and again, he's a type of hitter that keeps the barrel through the zone. He doesn't have a lot of movement.
I'll tell you what, I take the middle away from him. In other words, I move Freddie. Wow, I move Freddie to the left, take the middle away from him, figuring that, you know, with Goodell in left field, a ground ball or line shot right at him,
chance to throw one out.
You just want to have him throw him out at the plate.
So take the middle away and move your outfield corners in.
Exactly.
1 ball and no strikes to Murphy. That one's popped up. Ruiz off with the mask, and it's back into the Hall of Fame club, or excuse me, into the Diamond Club. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the reason why you take the middle away is because the base is up the middle. Chance of throwing a runner at home plate, very slim.
On the ground,
on the
for sure.
ground, exactly. Yeah. I don't care who's playing center field. Rendon runs, he has above average speed.
Well, I guarantee you Larry's got the book out right down there that tells you exactly what Murphy does in this situation.
Center field. Odubel Herrera heading back. He's got room. A few steps from the track, puts it away, and the side is retired. So Araujo works out of a jam. He and Hernandez here in the 8th. Nationals lead 2. We'll leave for the bottom of the 8th inning, looking for some more ice cream. Well, the summary of today's ball game is that it was the Fanatic's birthday and still is. And some of the events were outstanding to watch. As you see Michael Taylor stay in the game to play center field. And the other part of it is that the Phillies and the Nationals remain tied as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Nationals are now in their bullpen where Felipe Rivero will take over. 6th ball game for Rivero. And Emmanuel Burris will lead it off. Burris has 1 hit so far. He's 1 for 10. That 1 hit was a triple. And the fastball jumps a bit outside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. Gio Gonzalez goes 7, strikes out 8, allows 1 earned run. And will not fare in the decision today, just as Charlie Morton will not fare in the decision. 96 from Rivero, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Remarkable. Lefty's coming in throwing 96 out of the bullpen at a young age. Not a bad idea right there, trying to push on a area where you can try to get on base and create some havoc on the base paths.
And he came back with a changeup, and now it's 1-2. Nationals bullpen has an ERA of 2.10 so far in the early going.
Just kind of looking at the Nationals defense here. Apparently Dusty is not a guard the line guy.
Yeah, he does have both cornermen off. And a swing and a miss. It pops out of the glove of Lobaton. But Burris didn't realize it. So 1 out. And now to the top of the order for Freddie Galvis. Time for the Major League Notebook. Murph, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, the Texas Rangers are getting a little bit closer to getting Yu Darvish back in their rotation. He's recovering from Tommy John surgery. Through a live bullpen today, and the team is saying they think he might be able to make a rehab start as early as the end of this month. And I don't know if you guys have been following along with what is happening with Alex Rodriguez, but he was in the 3rd longest slump of his career, 0 for 19, but that ended today with a home run by A-Rod, number 689 on his career. But that 0 for 19 slump to start this season was the 3rd longest in his career. As I mentioned, he dropped down to 6th in their batting order, but he broke out today, number 689. That's certainly impressive, guys.
689 home runs at the doorstep of 7. Are you getting a round of applause, Murph?
I am.
Wow.
We're in front of a live studio audience here, Tom.
Really?
Yeah.
Great if you did like a game show right now.
There they are.
Have them follow you around now from wherever you go.
It's my posse.
1 ball and 1 strike to Freddie Galvis. Galvis is 0 for 3. And now 1-2.
'97, gentlemen.
Okay.
97 for a guy that's 6'2", right around 200 pounds. Originally with the Tampa Bay Rays, he came over with Jose Lobaton in a trade. Tapper back toward the mound, and he's got it. 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning. And Cesar Hernandez will head to the plate.
Redding's putting it on Harrisburg 14-2.
Boy, they just jumped too. It was 7-2 just a few moments ago. Cesar is 1 for 3. Phillies have 4 hits today, and if they don't reach double digits, it will mark the 13th game in a row to start the year where they have not reached double digits in hits. Last time that happened was back in 1967. It's interesting, you know, we talk about the runs, but even the hits, you would think at this point they would have at least one double-digit game. Last year they went the first 9 games without reaching double digits in hits. 1 ball, 1 strike. And now 1-2. He jumped that one up to 98 miles per hour. Blake Trinan, he's warming up at the pen. Daniel Murphy out at second base, and the Phillies are retired in order here in the 8th. 1, 2, 3. We've played 8 innings, just 1 run apiece. On to the 9th. Jason Worth will start it off for the Nats. Phil's fan club will sign up now. Membership includes 2 tickets to a Phillies home game, a Majestic Clubhouse store discount, and much more. You can join anytime by going to Phillies.com. Well, with Matt Stairs, Mike Schmidt, and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We're going to the top of the 9th inning here in Philadelphia. It's a 1-1 game, and Jedmar Gomez is going to take over for the Phils. Jedmar is the closer for the Phillies. So he's trying to keep this at a 1-run game and give the Phils a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning to win it. He's been good so far. This will be his 6th ball game. He and Jonathan Papelbon, who's the closer for the Nats, are among the leaders in saves so far. Pap has 5. Gomez has 4.
I guess Ryan Zimmerman on the bench is the guy you've got to be concerned with. Pete Buchanan, huh? As we get down to the pitcher spot.
Yeah, he could actually, if they want to, they could have him bat for even Clint Robinson, who's the first baseman. Robinson is in the on-deck circle.
Well, I don't think they'll bat. You know, they'll use him in a situation where an RBI means something.
Jason Worth today is 0 for 3. He has flied to right. He has struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. And he takes just off the outside corner. It's 1-0.
Now, hopefully they've been paying attention the whole game of where Jason Worth is landing on his front foot. You need to keep the ball away, especially in a tie ball game in the 9th inning. He's stepping in the bucket. Oh, they're coming inside.
Oh, man, Matt, right on cue, and he drills it to left, right off the sign. Worth on his way to second, hustling, and he's going to be there with his 3rd double of the series. That is remarkable. You didn't even get it out of your mouth.
Yeah, you're right about. I mean, the pitch he's about the only pitch he looked like he can handle right now is something middle in.
Well, it's going right into
right
with his
down
path.
the middle.
I mean,
yeah,
he's stepping in the bucket.
Yeah.
He's off balance. Now all of a sudden you're pitching into his balance. The whole time, the 3 games, look, he hit a bases loaded double to left field for a fastball inside. Now all of a sudden he's getting pull happy. Everything's leaving. It leaves that hole outside, and it's been that way the whole game today, and yesterday versus Aaron Nola.
Well, that'll bring Clint Robinson to the plate with the go-ahead run at second base. They're going to ask Robinson to pull the ball here. They're not asking him to bunt. They're going to ask him to pull the ball. Bob Henley is the third base coach. One ball and one strike. Fastball just off the outside part of the plate.
You know, and again, going back to the pitch, I'm a firm believer, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I'm in the 9th inning tie ball game, I'm not pitching inside to anyone.
Thank you.
They have to
especially
beat me
him.
away.
Yeah, especially him.
I mean,
it's the old thought of beat me to the biggest part of the ballpark.
Now, Matt, let me ask you this: you were a left-handed hitter in this situation right here. Are they doing you a favor if they throw something off speed to you and you want to pull the ball?
Oh, I think so. Because as a left-handed hitter right now, you're thinking about getting a pitch out over the plate. So throwing off speed or something away makes my job easier to go out and hook it to the side.
Yeah, even if you top it, I mean, you're okay with an out here if you get him over to third.
Right, because honestly, as a left-handed hitter, I became more of a defensive hitter when I knew I had to do my job and hit the ball to right field. So I was kind of changing my approach of swinging. I wasn't coming out of the shoes every time. I know it's hard to believe, but I didn't like the fastballs inside. Because those are the pitches that you're thinking about out over the plate. You want to do your job and hook something to the right side.
Well, explain what you mean by hook something to the people.
Well, you want to get the barrel out early enough and sacrifice hitting the ball
sort of
hard.
Hit out around the ball.
Right.
Down the right field line by Robinson. And that is a foul ball.
Yeah, the normal approach to hitting, especially nowadays, would be keep your hands inside the ball, use the center of the diamond as much as you can. Well, in this situation here, like you say, you use the term hook the ball. The batter's job is to advance that Jason Worth to third base. And for you, the easiest way to do it was get a ball out over the plate and hit out around it.
Right.
Bring it over to second base or first
Something
base.
you never teach.
Exactly.
It's almost like a cast and hook. Throw the hands out and just, especially in the 9th inning, you have to sacrifice. Second inning, you try to drive the ball to right field. Here, I'm hitting a ground ball to the right side no matter what. I'll take the 0 for 1.
Swing and a miss. He got him.
That's the swing right there where you do a defensive swing, knowing that you have to do your job, and you don't take an aggressive swing. Been there 100 times. That's not a powerful swing. He got out of his element, and it's an area where it's so hard.
Yeah,
when you start thinking you're changing your process.
Right, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with walking in that at bat.
No, there's not.
That's true. That was ball 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Stephen Drew is up. Drew is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
That's one of those at bats where you can't strike out.
No.
You know, it's. I mean, we do and we have, but contact is like so important in that at bat. If you have to bunt. Now they're also hitting with a big shadow from the light stanchion hanging over home plate right now. And that can present a problem.
In there for a strike. It's 0-1.
You know, we got to give some credit to Gemar for throwing some pretty good pitches in a situation where I know we got away with the almost double down the line, but pretty good pitches in that situation.
That's a good point.
Off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2.
See, in the shadows, it's not the point of not being able to pick up the curveball. It's being able to pick up the rotation of either fastball or changeup. That's the problem where hitters have
judging the depth
of what's coming in. Straight change compared to a fastball, hard to read.
That's good attention to detail there also by Gomez. Keeping Worth close to second base.
Nice pitch.
On the inside corner, it came back for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gomez. Drew doesn't think so. And Lobaton is coming up.
I'll say these umpires have done a heck of a job in the series. We watched a lot of hitting, a lot of pitches, long games.
Oh, that came back.
I
big
know,
time.
and there have been
pitch.
very, very few issues with umpires' calls in this game.
Boy, that overhead is awesome. You can see where Ruiz's glove is set up. So now Lobaton, Michael Taylor, who came on to play center field, pinch hit the last inning, is in the on-deck circle.
He's for real. He's not. He got bombed the last time, but that's not.
Lobaton is 0 for 3. 2-0. It's kind of interesting. I thought Dusty might use his bench a little bit more. I mean, we're talking hindsight now, but I thought he might use his bench a little bit more in this inning with a runner at second base. Maybe not for Robinson as much, but maybe for Drew.
I don't think he feels the pressure.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. You might see Zimmerman up there right now if they were 1-7 or 1-8 compared to 8-1.
Outside now 3-0 to Lobaton.
Good long range effect. Letting that Lobaton hit. If he'd get a base hit to win the game, you know, it could mean a lot to him in the future.
Worth double to start the inning. He's in scoring position. And ball 4, so Lobaton walks. Well, that was a really interesting sequence. He was pitching away the entire time. And that puts runners on first and second for Michael Taylor,
who roped the ball to center field this last time up against the right-handed pitcher.
It almost seemed like he feels more comfortable facing the right-hander than he did one where he just abused two lefties. Struck out both the guys with the fastball inside and a very nice changeup.
He sure did. Taylor is 2 for 11 in the series, counting the line out to center field his last time up. Taylor's numbers against Genmar.
Taylor absolutely loves to swing at that first pitch. If it's a strike, he will hack at it.
And he does. Hernandez is there at second base, and the side is retired. So Genmar works around the leadoff double. It means we go to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies and the Nationals tied up at 1. Odubel Herrera will start it off.
At Citizens Bank Park, the Nats and the Phils. Phils getting one more chance to win this one in regulation. When this one is done, well, the Nats will leave town, and the New York Mets are coming to town. All games at 7:05 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week. Noah Syndergaard and Jared Eichhoff will get the ball on Monday night. That'll be Verrett versus Velasquez on Tuesday, and Bartolo Colon versus Jeremy Hellickson will be on Wednesday. So those games coming up with the New York Mets. But guys, obviously, this one's not over yet.
No, Murph, it's not. Maybe we get an exciting finish here by the Phils at the bottom of the 9th inning. We haven't had that yet this year. Rivera will start the bottom of the 9th. Little lefty on lefty with Odubel Herrera. How about the Phillies pitching, though? The last couple of innings, last 4 innings, I should say, they've stranded 2 runners in each inning. So 8 runners left by the Nationals. Well, back on April 11th, his first hits of the year was a walk-off, a double down the right field line against the Nats. He'd probably feel better if Tanner Roark was pitching righty on lefty instead of the lefty and lefty. Well, Pap won't have the same kind of celebration here if he does it. So Odubel, who is 0 for 2, walked his last time. Rendon is cheating in at third, not all the way in, but he's even with the bag. 1 ball, no strikes. Hopefully he realizes this is where his patience could really pay off. Two and 0. Franco is on deck, and then Ruff. So this is probably the last batter for Rivero. They do have a righty, Trinan, warming up. This ball moves every which way out in the bullpen. Three balls, no strikes.
The walking man. Come on, Odubel.
Is he taking 1 or 2? What do you guys think?
2.
There you have it. I agree.
Well, there's number 1. Trying to sell it a little bit.
He tried to sell that ball. It was inside.
He can't throw 3 in a row.
Pap looks like he's sitting in the backyard on a Sunday afternoon barbecue.
He really doesn't.
There's Franco. That one's pulled just foul.
Might have been ball 4.
Final score on the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Mets and the Cleveland Indians 6-0 New York. So they're on their way here to Philadelphia. Steven Matz struck out 9. That's a career high. Kluber's now 9-19 since winning the Cy Young Award in 2014. His ERA was pretty good last year, but 9-19.
Tough division. Kansas City Royals the last couple of years been very good.
Very true.
White Sox, they just absolutely just
Yeah, they're crushing it.
hit.
3 ball, 2 strike pitch coming to Herrera, and he hits it foul. It's another one of those long at bats for Odubel. Trying to get on.
I'm saying, get in the box, Odubel. Let's go. Hit it your own pace, right, man?
Absolutely.
You get 3 out of 20.
Chopper, it's going to be a tough play. Drew charges, throws on the run, and he is out at first base. They may review it again. Phillies have won 2 already today. That was close. That was a heck of a play by Drew.
Actually, I think we won 3, haven't we?
My memory's going. Here we go.
Ooh.
That's really close. It looks like they got him. Nope, they're going to ask him to review it. It's a 7-pitch at bat. It looks like it's the right call by the first base umpire. It's in the glove, and he's just above the bag on that particular shot. Here we go. Watch it again. The foot is not on the bag, but it's in the glove right there.
And look where his foot lands on the bag.
Right in the middle of the bag.
Yeah. If he lands in the front of the bag.
I've been a little closer. Plus, we have a pitching change probably coming up after the review, don't we?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, this is the closest review I think we've had today. I mean, we talk about umpires and good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, think about how close that play was, and we think Ripperger got it right. And look how, I mean, it's a hair. He's the young umpire to the left.
Well, and what the umpires do in those type of plays is they're watching the foot and listening for the ball to hit the glove. That's the biggest. That's what they're at first base. That's what they're taught.
I believe we had 2 Harpers. And the tag at first, didn't we?
Tag at first.
The ground ball by Freddie Galvis.
Oh, the ground ball. That one, I guess I didn't count that one, but.
We went to commercial break.
We went to commercial break, and it was obvious, I thought.
Harper's slide at second.
Correct.
Was that today?
That was today. Yep.
Harper's play at first.
There we go. He is out.
Right? Harper thought he beat out the ball at first base.
Yeah, that's the one we went to the commercial break.
That's right. We went to commercial break.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
They challenged that one. So here comes Dusty Baker. He's going to make a double switch. It'll be Dendecker that's going to come in. And I think he's coming in for Michael Taylor, who made the last out. And they'll bring in Blake Trinan to pitch. The Nationals will, with 1 man down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So a pitching change, tie ball game. The Nationals and the Phils. It's interleague play here at Citizens Bank Park. The series wraps up on Sunday the 1st, a special time of 2:35. And the StubHub Mother's Appreciation Day free ladies infinity scarf. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Darren Ruff will stay in the game and bat, even though the right-hander Blake Trinan is coming into the ball game. Matt Dendecker, number 21, will take over in center. So he is the 3rd center fielder used today by the Nationals, and Trinan in his 5th ball game. You want to see a guy whose baseball moves as a right-hander? This guy, he's got some great sink on it. 4 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. Opposition hitting just $167. Mikel Franco will be the first one he faces. Although I guess they could switch Ruff. He's out there right now.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, Ryan's waiting. I would think if nobody else is warming up. Well, we'll see.
You know what? If it were the other way around, we'd be questioning it too.
It's absolutely. Franco high chopper over to third. Rendon throws a strike across the diamond, so 2 outs. And Ruff will exit, and Ryan Howard will enter. It's kind of been the pattern. It's not a surprise by any stretch. There is a lefty warming up right now for the Nationals. Oliver Perez. He's warmed up a couple times. It doesn't take him long to get warm. They're going to let Trinan face Howard, although Mike Maddox will still come out. And have a conversation with Trinan. Let's see if Trinan can lift one of those sinkers here for Ryan Howard.
Well, I guess Pete is assuming they weren't going to take Trinan out of the game, bring the lefty that's warming up in to face Howard, because you have a choice: lefty on Howard or righty on Ruff.
And Perez has faced Howard a ton of times.
Yeah, if that was the case, so
Trinan this year, most of the time throwing the fastball. He does have the slider, which he's throwing 17% of the time.
And I guess this discussion here was like, what do you want to do with him, you know?
So here we go. Howard off the bench. See his numbers as a pinch hitter. Pretty darn good. 6 home runs as a pinch hitter. 19 hits overall. And he hits one foul off to the left.
Good swing. Aggressive. Hard thing to do, isn't it, Matt? Because you're the whole game, you know, you're gearing up for it mentally if you're not starting in the game. But, you know, it's not something Ryan does regularly. Although he has been good at it.
Well, he's been good at it because in his career he's been a good fastball hitter.
Outside.
You come off the bench and you're going to face closers that throw hard. And usually closers don't challenge you inside. Except for Mariano Rivera through the cutter. A lot of closers stay away from guys that pinch hit.
There's the slider.
I pinch hit a few times, my guy. I hated every one of them. But I tell you what, I was getting some hacks, right?
You have to.
Well, it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Howard. He stays alive. Back-to-back breaking pitches. Well, this is the last walk-off home run. It came against a lefty, Boone Logan of the Rockies. That was one of the funnier high steps we've seen. And Howard fouls a 97-mile-an-hour heater off.
Putting a good at bat on this guy.
One-two pitch.
Well, you're seeing the value of a Ryan Howard right now, right? Say what you want about Ryan Howard, but bring some element of excitement into this ball game right now. Just being up there, right?
In the air to right field. Harper on the run, back toward the wall, and he makes the catch. A sinking line drive, and Harper tracks it down to the side. He's retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left, and there's the excitement that you're talking about. We're going to go extra innings here in a 1-1 ball game. This year, we're going to extra innings. We go to the top of the 10th. Nationals and Phillies, final game of this 3-game series. Last year, the Phillies played 15 extra inning games. The Nationals played 11. Ryan Howard stays in the game to play first base after sending one to the warning track as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 9th inning. Time now for our WBase deliveries of the game. This is how we got to this point. Carlos Ruiz is the only run for the Phils. That's the home run against Gio Gonzalez back in the 2nd. And in the 6th inning, Anthony Rendon shoots one the other way to bring home the tying run.
I like the first one better. Those are your WB Mason deliveries of the game.
So Matt Dendecker will lead it off for the Nationals. Dendecker came on as part of a double switch. This was the pitcher's spot after a switch earlier, but it started out as the spot for the center fielder. It'll be Dendecker, Rendon, and Harper here at the top of the 10th inning. Outside, 2-0. Genmar Gomez in his 2nd inning of relief.
Gomez, first couple of games, your 6th, 7th inning guy. Then became your closer. Now he's your long guy.
Oh, we don't want to walk the leadoff hitter here. Nope. It's a long way back from 3-0.
And he delivers a strike. It's 3-1. By the way, Lehigh Valley has won against Rochester 3-0. I bring it up because Zach Eflin went 8 innings and struck out 5, did not walk anybody.
Makes him what, 2-0 in the year?
I believe you are correct. That's a game that took 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Swing the bats, boys. On the inside corner. Does come back. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a strike 3 called, and Dendecker gave up on it. That's 3 strikeouts for Gomez. Well, he's got that 2-seamer working pretty good right now.
Yeah. 6 pitches, not 1 swing.
Yeah. I don't know if he intended to run that ball back over the inside corner.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Well, I understand.
That's his bread and butter pitch to the left-handers, that front door sinker. That's a great view right there.
Yeah.
Right on the corner.
Rendon has 2 hits today, 4 hits in the series, and he bunts. Foul. 2nd time he's tried to bunt here today.
Well, the bottom line is, what's his job to do?
Get on base.
Well, that's what I say, get on base, but he can hit a home run. He can drive the ball in the gap, and there's 1 out. I will say that Franco was giving him the bunt. And he does have Harper hitting behind it. But in this case right here with 1 out, I'd rather see him try to drive the ball in the gap.
Pokes it foul, and it's 0-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, break up the Braves. They win it in 10, 6-5. Jason Grilli gets the victory. Malik Smith, the game-winning RBI single. He's one of their big prospects. One of their quick outfielders. So they've won 3 straight.
Now Donnie Baseball is struggling down there in Miami. He's probably wondering what's going on.
Odubel Herrera will take care of Rendon. And there are 2 outs here in the 10th. And Bryce Harper's coming up. It's a topsy-turvy world we live in, Matt, in the National League East, except for the guys that we're playing right now. They've built a 5-game lead already in the division.
haven't heard Stanton's name. You mentioned Mattingly. I haven't heard Stanton's name mentioned much.
You know, it's funny,
far.
giving the Toyota Major League Scoreboard, I think I said it once so far this year, but I don't remember if it was, you know, a 3-hit game or anything like that, but I do remember mentioning it once this year. I know in spring training he was still having trouble with his hand from the hamate bone surgery.
2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and hitting .205.
All right, well, Mike, that's why you haven't heard about him.
And hopefully we don't hear from him a whole lot.
0-1 pitch coming to Harper. Papelbon's tossing again in the pen, and that's just in case the Nationals do score with 2 outs here. Ruiz off with the mask, back toward the screen, and out of play. 1-2. Do you think Pap's hearing anything out there from the fans sitting above the bullpen?
You think Paps cares if he hears anything?
No, I don't think he does. Honestly, I don't even think he blinks an eye about it. I'm sure they've been working him pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah. He came in the dugout or the locker room when I was there earlier. Baby blue suit. Says we're heading to Miami.
One-two pitch, and that just missed low. 2-2.
Height of the fastball.
That's a strike.
That height-wise is good. Now the next question is it on the plate?
Like it was.
Chooch is holding the glove there like it was.
That guy thinks it is. You could tell him anything, he'd be happy.
How many hats does he have?
I was going to say, put another hat on.
There's a hush over the stadium.
There is.
Bryce Harper's hitting with a 3-2 count. Huh?
he wasn't a good tackler, but he could cover anybody.
I would say he'd probably give you one of the toughest at-bats in this situation in the National League right now.
Out toward right center field, Odubel going back, and it is gone into the Phillies bullpen. That was a bullet. 3rd home run of the series for Harper. And what we talked about in the open, you can just add to it. That's his 11th home run here at Citizens Bank Park. And it's now 2-1 Washington.
Powerful swing, that's for sure. And again, you get beat on the pull side.
Well, now Daniel Murphy, who swings over the top of that first pitch. It's 0-1. So Papelbon will come on to try to close it in the bottom of the 10th inning. Phillies will have Ruiz, Borges, and Goodell. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Ball goes into the John. They stay in there. 6 consecutive games with a home run here at Citizens Bank Park. He has 7 during that span. And the shame of it is, it looked like he was struck out looking, but was given new life by the home plate umpire Andy Fletcher, and he took full advantage of it. Full advantage of it.
Hindsight is always something in baseball. I mean, if you'd have thrown a splitter in the dirt 3-2, no one would have ever questioned it. You could have had, I don't care who's on deck in that situation. You know, you get more than likely the hitter right here. Murphy is not going to hit a home run, or you know what I mean. He may hit a single or something. I know he can, but I would say that the last person on this team that you can let beat you is Bryce Harper.
Oh, without a doubt, absolutely. The same as when you go down to Miami, Stanton cannot beat you. There's always one guy on the team you pick out saying, today this guy will not beat me in a game. Game on the line, he will not get a good pitch to hit. If I walk him, so be it.
Well, Q shot foul, and it remains 2-2.
And you can walk him. I mean, I walk 3 times, 4 times in a game, 2 times. You know, it's not about personal pride or you know what I mean. It's brains. It's being smart. If he chases a splitter in the dirt, great. You've made the right pitch. 3-2. So you know that was a similar pitch to what he ran back over the plate against Drew, right?
Yep.
Ben Decker.
Ryan Howard knocks that ball down.
Great play.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job. Flips to Gomez covering, and the side is retired. But Bryce Harper has given the Nationals the lead. He's homered in each game in this series, and this one gives him a 2-1 lead going to the bottom of the 10th. On top of the Phillies as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, and the name on the back of that young man's shirt is in the ball game now for the Washington Nationals. He's the all-time saves leader in Phillies history. He has 5 saves so far for Washington this season, a 1.80 ERA. Jonathan Papelbon. We look back to September 27th, 2016. Bryce Harper pops it up against Dahlia Hinojosa. A lot of people think this was a microcosm of the end for the Washington Nationals. Harper doesn't run it out. Papelbon says something to him. Harper continues. Pap continues as well. And then the two of them have to be separated after Papelbon goes after Bryce Harper. He and Desmond was the first one in there. Nationals did not make the postseason last year. Papelbon did take responsibility for it this past spring. Carlos Ruiz leads it off here in the bottom of the 10th, and the first pitch is in there. It's 0-1. Papelbon with 123 career saves for the Phils. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Danny Espinosa comes on to play shortstop for the Nationals here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Carlos is 1 for 2 with a walk. Homered his first time up, and he hits that one out towards center field. On the run is Dendecker, and he'll have room right at the foot of the warning track.
Ball's hit good. Wrong part of the ballpark.
Yep, one away. And Peter Borges will bat. Here in the 10th inning. Cedric Hunter's come out in the on-deck circle. Borges is 1 for 3. He singled back in the 5th inning. He has also struck out and popped out.
Not sure why Rendon's playing him for bunt.
Interesting too, keeps creeping in. Pap's got pretty good velocity right now, 94 miles an
94.
hour.
A couple pitches at 93, 94. Notice where the pitches are? Away. Making the hitters hit it to the big part of the ballpark.
0-2. Check swing on that slurve, which has been a pitch that has really helped Papelbon in recent years, the slurve. He's got the split. One ball, 2 strikes. Out to left field. On the run is Jason Worth over toward the corner, and he's not going to get there. It's a one-hop. It's a fair ball. Borges on his way to second, and he'll get there standing. So a one-out double.
Well, there we go. We got life.
5th double of the year for Borges. And now Cedric Hunter will come up as a pinch hitter.
We got life. We got speed. It looks like he reached out, Matty. Well, there's that slurve right down the middle.
Well, out of the reach of Jason Worth. All right, so Borges is in scoring position. Cedric Hunter will pinch hit. Andres Blanco is out of the on-deck circle because the pitcher spot is due up next. Cedric has never faced Papelbon. They have the overshift on the right side.
Well, I would love to see a swing that Cedric Hunter had in spring training. Back off a little bit on the swing and hit that ball right where the shortstop should be playing. We saw it a few times in spring training. That would make him relax.
Out toward shallow center field. And Dendecker puts it away. 2 outs.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. I mean, you look back at him so far, just too many balls in the air, you know.
Way too many. And I have no problems if you hit the ball in the air, but I have the problem where it's infield or 25 feet back from the infield. If you're just missing pitches and you're hitting to right center, guys are running it down, fine. But again, we get back towards where you kind of lose the barrel. The barrel drops a little bit below, and that's why you're popping everything up. And that's why I would love to see that ground ball to shortstop. It means he gets on top of it, and he's using his hands, and he's not over swinging.
And that may get him back to where he needs to be.
Yeah, a little bit more of a Daniel Murphy style of swing, right?
It's almost like a Cayenne Pepper swing.
Right.
So the breakdown of pitches for Papelbon, the slider much more than the split fingers so far, but predominantly fastballs. So after a couple of meetings, here's Blanco, and Blanco takes strike 1. In the dirt, Lobaton smothers it, and it's even 1-1. Phillies pinch hitters coming into today's ball game 3 for 14. 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. That one's lined into left field, a base hit. Borges is being waved home. Worth is up with it. His throw to the plate is not in time. Dropped by Lobatone. An RBI single for Andres Blanco, and we are tied up at 2. Jonathan Papelbon has blown his second save of the first save of the season, and his second one against the Phils since the trade.
I'd love to say it. It was a nice piece of hitting. Right? Fighting that ball off to left field. Worth had a shot at him at the plate.
He did. I thought Borges was knocked out because he took a shot to the face as he slid in.
Borges was flying around there. I'll tell you, you talk about speed.
This is a pretty good throw from J-Dub.
This short hopping.
Watch the collision right on the face area. The helmet right in the face.
Wow.
Looks worse on the replay. Blanco's in scoring position. Freddie Galvis got a good pitch to hit, and he fouls it back. So it's a single and an RBI for Blanco. Borges scores. Take a look at it again from up top.
He would have been safe easily, though. Even if he does pick that ball and puts a tag on him. Oh, man, what a collision right in that face area.
The outfielders shorten up except for Harper and Wright. The 0-1 pitch coming to Galvis. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
95.
Here in the bottom of the 10th inning, we're tied at 2. Harper gave the Nationals the lead, and Blanco has just tied it up. Out toward left field. Jason Worth venturing back. Did he get over his head? He did! Blanco will score! Freddie Galvis the opposite way! And the Phils score 2 here in the bottom of the 10th inning to come from behind. And they win it by a final score of 3-2. They do it against Jonathan Papelbon, and they salvage this 3-game series.
Oh, that's great to see. That's a big win for us. Big win for us.
The Nationals were celebrating after Bryce Harper's home run gave them a 2-1 lead, but the Phillies with 3 hits in the bottom of the 10th inning, 2 doubles, come from behind against their former teammate, and they win it 3-2, and the celebration is carried all the way out towards center field.
And now I'm surprised Worth wasn't playing deep enough to catch that ball.
Well, I think he was playing a little shallower because of the runner at second base, but the elevated fastball, and that ball hit the base of the wall in left field.
Right. Well, you don't see a fly ball often in left field here at this ballpark. Hit the base of the wall on a fly. I mean, line drive, yes, but that ball hung up in the air for a while.
Boy, there's such a sense of satisfaction for the Phillies after their offense struggled so much in this series. To come from behind and win it against Jonathan Papelbon and the Washington Nationals.
Well, that changes everything, guys. I mean, about the series, you know what I mean?
And the homestand, to a certain extent.
It changes everything. Now you got some good feelings going into the Mets series coming up. And, you know, the big bully in the division right now gets a loss. Bryce Harper doesn't get a game-winning home run.
Jonathan Papelbon doesn't get a save against his former team.
All fun stuff.
What?
Well, and Freddie Galvis ultimately is the star of the game, and he's with Greg Murphy. Murph?
Yeah, it took a little teamwork to get that done, but Freddie Galvis is the final at-bat, and you've had a couple walk-offs in your career. How does that one rank? That one probably felt pretty good.
Yeah, actually feel pretty good. Used to win the game, you know. That's what we're playing for. We try to play hard. The whole 9 innings, I think.
Oh, we're getting double dose. Thanks, Cam.
But that's how we're going to do. we have to play hard, we have to play deep, and come with a big hit, and I think it's a good win for us.
You know, it's been hard for you guys to string a couple hits together. You're able to do that here in extra innings. How important, can you build off of that? How important is it to get those and then take that and take it into the next series?
Yeah, it's really important, you know, we have to be on base, you know, we have to play little balls. We do today in the last inning. Why do you have a good at-bat, you know? We have to keep playing hard to the end, that's it.
What does it say about this team that you're able to continue to battle like that?
Yeah, we're going to do it all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Freddie, thank you. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph. Nice way to finish up a Sunday. Nice way to finish up the Fanatic's birthday. A high fastball that Freddie Galvis just punched the other way. Oh, he didn't punch it. He lined it the other way off the base of the wall. It scores his good buddy Andres Blanco. And here comes the celebration. Let it begin. 3-2 the final score. It's always nice to walk off. And the Phillies have done it today for the first time this year.